I'm Fiera Luna, and I play games on the internet. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by, and if you've been here before, welcome back. Today, we're playing Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Oh, this is gonna be a good time, hopefully. Hi, everybody, welcome in. Hi, Val, hi, Catoid, hi, Rice. Welcome in, everybody. We're gonna do the thing. Or maybe we'll even get through this case. Who knows? It's a mystery. Welcome in, Sir B. Munch, munch, munch. Ah, the Jaws theme. Doo-doo. Doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. I had to learn how to play that in fish school when I was small. We had to learn how to play the Jaws theme. There were a lot of sharks, you see. Six-gilled, of course, because it was very deep. Very deep in the sea. Down where the blobfish lives. Okay. Bonk. We saved somewhere in this. Oh, yeah! We were in the middle of this, talking about the bellboy, and the giant tip that we gave that bellboy. Because Matt gave him a huge tip. Like, real big. Oh, no. I instantly can't talk. If only I were an epaulette fish. An epaulette shark. But I am not. They can walk and talk and everything. They can't actually talk, but they can walk. Oh, no. We love a comically large Acme Anvil.
So the bellboy came out of the victim's room. And if that bellboy really was the assassin, then I think the answer is fairly obvious.
I done been bonked. Wow.
That would be correct, Your Honor. Well, Mr. Wright, I believe it's your turn to entertain and make us laugh. Ha 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 ha. This is no laughing matter.
This time I was in that hallway because I had to go to the bathroom. And that's when that bellboy I saw earlier came out of the room. Of course, when I say room, I mean Juan Carita's room. Well, now that I think about it, that bellboy did seem kind of out of place. Yeah, so he had to be the assassin, I'm sure of it. In any case, if that bellboy was the assassin, it would be very bad for us. But he really is the assassin, you know? Yes, but you can't give in yet. If you want to prolong this trial for as long as possible, you're going to have to pull some cheap tricks on this one. Edgeworth! Yes, it's true! We are on the final case of this game. The other one is queued up, so we can start that right away if we're going to. And what time was that? Well, I don't remember. The award ceremony ended around 8 p.m., right? And when I went to Matt's room pretty soon after, and then came back, and then I went to the bathroom, so I guess maybe it was around 8:10 by that time?
You're not one for details, are you, Mr. Powers?
Sorry. I thought I could maybe catch Matt and say my congrats. That's the effect of the anvil. Oh no! And yes, we do kind of know who it is already. We just need evidence. The fact that I was able to guess from Shelly DeKiller's name is kind of funny to me. I mean, his name is Shelly DeKiller. I forgot this Ace Attorney case lore. Okay, so here's what we're doing. Maya is kidnapped. She is kidnapped, and problems. Problem one with our kidnapped victim is we have been tasked with getting Matt on guard off the hook. We have not done that, but she is still alive. So that's good. We think the cops know where she is, so that they can save her. And we're hoping that if we prolong this trial, we can save Maya and have this trial but proper. Edgeworth is back. We thought he was dead for a whole year. And Phoenix is like, you disappeared for a whole year. And you were like, the old Edgeworth's dead now. And I was like, is this a metaphor? Or are you dead? And I thought you were dead. And like, what? Chat's collective wife, husband. Yes, Edgeworth. So anyway, we're interviewing Will Powers, who was a witness to said crime. He used to play the Steel Samurai. And now he's mixed up in this. And Phoenix is mad. Yes, that's true. But he's getting... He'll be fine. Are you sure it was the same bellboy? Yeah. And how could you tell? All the bellboys wear the same uniform after all. Well, but you see... Well, we had those... He had those stitches in his face. So I'm sure it's the same guy that was talking with Matt. Huh. So which room did the bellboy come out of? Well, of course when I say room, I mean Juan Carita's room. The victim's room, huh? Yeah, the one with all the really pretty flowers and teddy bears. They'll kiss and make up and get married. I mean, I would love. I would love. Well, it was Juan's room, all right. Words cannot describe how screwed I am. Let's continue with the testimony, shall we? I'm glad Edgeworth's here to carry this trial. Can I bake their wedding cake? Yes, if you'd like. So what exactly was out of place about him? Right. Why the insipid grin? Maybe because I have no idea what damaging thing he's going to say next? Well, the bellboy was empty-handed. Empty-handed? Well, that bellboy was one of those room service people, right? But he wasn't pushing a cart, and he wasn't holding a tray either. You'd call that a little strange too, wouldn't you?
I agree that it is a bit strange, Mr. Powers.
But is it really that unusual for a bellboy to be that empty-handed? What should I do? Should I let Mr. Powers' testimony slide, or... Oh, we're gonna be shenanigans. There's nothing strange or unusual about an empty-handed bellboy. Well, but really there is. There really isn't. If you two are done being school children, bellboys are for room service. There's no reason for them to be empty-handed ever. Your Honor, I ask the witness' previous statement be supplanted with this new one. Edgeworth. Are you gonna do whatever you can to make the bellboy look suspicious?
Oh, I see. Very well, this court recognizes and grants the prosecution's request. Mr. Powers, if you could amend your testimony, please.
Yes, sir. Did he come out empty-handed? Oh! Thanks for the catoid. I shall be sure to paint defensively, so as to prevent surprises. Is there something maybe I need to present here? Let's take a look at our evidence. Ooh, the crime photo. Wait, what's in there? Juice. Tomato juice. A very important thing that everyone should be drinking. And not wine at all. Definitely not wine. A knife! I don't see anything I should probably be submitting. This is the first stream of 2025. Congratulations. Welcome in. What you got there? A knife. No! Welcome in, Sasako. We're playing Ace Attorney tonight. First stream of 2025. I forgot it was 2025 again. I'm literally making a journal. I'm literally making a journal right now, and I forgot it was 2025 while I made that journal.
So you're saying that it's suspicious for him to be empty-handed? Yeah, really suspicious. I mean, when I first saw that bellboy, he was holding a tray in his hand, and there was a bottle of juice and a wine glass on it. Juice? What kind of juice was it? I'm pretty sure it was tomato juice. If we could come up with some sort of reason as to why he would come out empty-handed, some sort of proof, then I think we can dodge the bullet on this one for now. Proof, huh? Sounds like another job for the court record. Oh, okay. No, I don't want to press. I meant to go back. Please don't be so quick to judge. But it's kind of a Powers family thing. Think of every person as a thief. Well, I guess a thief and an assassin are both sneaky and silent. That's not the point, Phoenix. In any case, if that bellboy was the assassin, it would be very bad for us. Okay, moving on. We've seen this. I think I got it. Because in the crime photo, you can see the juice. Quote-unquote juice. Yeah, there it is. That sounds like an interaction between Cashew. 2025 again? Fierre's in a time loop. Oh, I wish I was in a time loop. Nah, I don't actually. Quick, Fierre, talk about your feelings. Oh no! I'm excited that everyone is here and that you're all cool and that chat is cool and nice, and I have a bunch of people on here that are like, wow, you sure are neat. I'm excited about that. What did everyone have for New Year's meal? I know there's a lot of traditions for the first supper. We had chicken and potatoes and Caesar salad, and it was stir-fried chicken, so it was really tasty. And we had the homemade ice cream that we made yesterday. There were a bunch of flavors. There's lemon and thyme, which is a fancy flavor, I think, but that we made it ourselves. There was popcorn ice cream, and somehow it came out tasting like corn pops, which I love. There was coffee Kahlua ice cream, which was really, really good, even though I don't like coffee. It was still really tasty. And Biscoff cream, which was delicious. That's the one I did. Made a Biscoff. Yum, yum, yum. If you're still in a time loop, you just aren't that good. If you're still in a time loop, you just aren't good. Wait a minute. Free from the time loop? Oh boy. It is really good. The ice creams are really, really good. What else did we do? We didn't do much for New Year's Day. New Year's Eve was where all the fun was. Mr. Powers. Yes? You're easily influenced by other people's words, aren't you? As soon as you heard that bellboy might have been the killer, you got caught up in believing it must be true. Well, but... Isn't he really suspicious? He's got all those stitches and... So? A baseball has stitches. Are you saying all baseballs are suspicious because they have stitches? Phoenix! Well, there's also... I mean, what about him being empty-handed? I would like to ask the court to please take a look here.
This is the crime scene.
There's a wine glass sitting next to Mr. Kurita's body. And liquid inside this glass is tomato juice. And now, if you would look at what is on the top of the table in the lower right corner here, anyone can clearly see that it is a tray with a bottle of tomato juice on it. The bellboy had just brought this to Mr. Kurita's room. He left the tray in the room, which is why he was empty-handed when he left.
Ah! Oh, but that would mean that the bellboy had seen and left the room, a dead body in the room.
But can you prove that Mr. Kurita was already dead at the time?
Mr. Edgeworth!
Yes.
I blame you for leading me down this route.
I'm terribly sorry. What is with him? Why is he laughing? Witness, isn't there one more thing you would like to share with us?
Is there?
The bellboy was empty-handed. Or should I say empty-hand-ed. I recall you had something interesting to say about his hands. Oh yeah! I almost forgot. Huh? What? The bellboy, he was wearing gloves. Gloves? Yeah, pitch black, leather ones. All the other bellboys didn't wear gloves like that, right?
Black leather gloves? Why didn't you mention them earlier?
Oh no, he got definitely fainted, PG word. Yeah, you can just say killed. It's okay. I don't have any sponsors or any ad breaks or anything like that. Well, I mean, there are ad breaks on Twitch, right? But I don't have any sponsors. You don't have to be advertiser friendly. And besides, if we were going to be advertiser friendly and use a euphemism for getting killed, we wouldn't use unalive for sure. Because listen, we have so many ways. 1930s gangsters did not give us so many euphemisms for killing somebody. For us not to use them in this day and age. Why can't we say someone's taken a dirt nap? Or they're sleeping with the fishes, or they've they're taking an extended vacation, which is my favorite one. They're taking an extended vacation, no, I got him a Chicago overcoat, which is a coffin, you see. We are in the midst of a murder trial. If I, for some reason, decided I could not say kill or die or any of that, we'd be having such trouble here. Do you have any idea how hard it would be to play a Phoenix Wright game? And Phoenix Wright games are rated like PG. I think they're like E10 plus or something. Now, admittedly, in America, they scrub all references to alcohol, which is why these bottles aren't champagne. They're tomato juice instead, because they scrub all references to alcohol. But other than that, like, it's a murder investigation. Like, amazing. People die when they are killed. Indefinite slumber, exactly. Oh, that's another one. He's taken a real long nap. They're all so good. I want a snack, but I left my cheese balls elsewhere, and now staff probably won't get them for me. Oh, right. I was reading the thing. Sorry, it slipped my mind. Boy, does this make the bellboy look really suspicious. Alright, gotta focus. I can't get lax here. Make staff get the cheese balls. I can't make them do things. I can't make them do anything. Oh, that's not entirely true. But cool staff's not here this evening to be ratatouille. Alright, gotta focus. I can't get lax here. So what if he had gloves? A lot of bellboys wear gloves. Well, come on, Mr. Wright. That bellboy was wearing black leather ones. So? A football is made of leather. Are you saying all footballs are suspicious because they're made of leather?
But that man, he received a large roll of cash from the defendant. And when he was seen leaving the crime scene wearing black leather gloves, I don't think even someone like myself can believe he was just another bellboy.
It seems that we have finally come to an understanding. Now then, witness, please continue with the rest of your testimony. The rest?
Oh yes, please tell us more.
Okay. Oh my.
Can I take a long nap inside a glass coffin and only true love can wake me up? I'm gonna level with you. You can do whatever you want as long as you're prepared for the consequences. But I will say that all my brain did when I heard that was go, wake me up inside. Because I can't be tamed.
Call my name and save me from the dark. Bid my blood to run before I come undone.
Right. Anyway, for those of you that might not know, my emo phase never ended. It never ended. I found that stuff and was like, yes! If I wanted to decrease an 80-second wait, Well, after leaving Juan's room, the bellboy went and knocked on Matt's door, just like that. He gave something to the person inside the room, and then the old guy just left without even going into the room. After that, I went to the bathroom and then back to my seat.
Oh.
So the bellboy, after leaving the crime scene, next went to the defendant's room?
Yeah, I kind of saw all that by accident. Some accident? I'd say you saw too much. And all of it was suspicious to high heaven.
I think it's safe to say that we can no longer consider this bellboy to be normal. Now then, let's get started, shall we? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Oh boy. Okay.
I love how it won't let you press in advance.
Was this what you saw while you were busy spying? Well, excuse me? I may be a poor underpaid action star, but even I wouldn't stoop to spying.
Well, I think the point is, where did you watch all this from, Mr. Powers?
Oh, from the door of the bathroom with my left eye in a sort of sneaky, spy-like. I knew he was spying. Please, does it really matter if he was doing it over or underhandedly? What did the bellboy do next? That's all I care to know.
Well, he gave something to the person inside the room. Then the old guy just left without even going into the room. I said hold it. Okay. That's better. Ahem. What kind of statement is that? Please elaborate and give us a few more details. Oh, okay.
I should probably ask him only one question at a time.
So, who took this something the bellboy handed off? Actually, I don't know. What do you mean? Well, I'm sorry, but I only saw the person's arm. Now for more gambling chances. Come on, medkit. I believe in you. Get you the medkit. Oh, also, that reminds me. I know I didn't get to do it last Friday because aquarium staff kicked me out of my enclosure for several days. But good news is that this Friday we do get to play Roblox, which means Dandy's World in this case. So if you guys want to come play and stuff, I have a private server set up so that you can do that and come and visit me and play the video game. That will be Friday night's stream. I am not very good at the game yet. Yes, you can. Absolutely. Of course you can play Cosmo. I am not very good at the game yet. I am learning. I have played games like this before, where my job is to run around and make the badmins glue onto me. My usual play strategy in games like this is to either run around and make the badmins look at me and go, "Hi, look at me, chase me, I'm here, chase me, come here," when there are very few badmins, and this is a game where there are very few badmins. Or my job is to sort of, like a sheepdog, herd everybody. Which, when there's like large crowds that you have to herd. So I know that job very well. I'm given to understand that that job is distractor. The other thing, yes! The other thing that I am learning is that I'm very good at sneaking around and extracting things. Like doing the mechanic. Because I'm very good at understanding where the bad news is and not being near it. And when to leave and when to go. When to stop and when to go, basically. Right, where were we? Oh, yes. So I'll do my best. Fear will be my priority. Why, team captain? You do not have to make me priority. And I'll be not playing because I do not play dandies. That's okay. I also didn't play Roblox until someone kept showing me pictures of a dog. He's a rock, and neither of his eyes point in the same direction, and he is so excited to be here. And I wish to play the rock. It was me, I did it. You did. You and Momo did it. I wish to play the funny rock. Oh, looks at Val. Oh, I wonder who that could be. I will say, it was more than just Val yapping about Dandy's World in the chat. So eventually I was like, this game can't be that hard. It isn't. I don't know if it's actually hard or if it's just that I've played games like this before and I know them very well, or what. But I do like playing games like this with people. Not alone. Alone, they're terrible. But with people, it's fine. Oh, right, what were we doing? I'm sorry, but I only saw the person's arm.
Only an arm.
Well, then you're saying you didn't see the person's face? Yeah. Excuse me.
Well, it was Mr. Enguarde's room, correct? So it could only have been Mr. Engarde himself, I'd say. And then, what did the bellboy do after that?
Oh, so after he gave the person inside the room the thing, I want to know... I want to know the other question. Yeah, I said hold it. What about this something? It's not that hard until you get a blackout in a main on 4-5 and everyone dies to Roger and not the main, and then it's not that hard. Yeah, but Roger's capsule's easy to spot because it doesn't have the little, it doesn't have the film wrapped around it. You did get V on floor 5. You did a good job. We still all died, but you did a good job. And by we all, I mean you and me. Because it was just 2 of us at that point. He gave something to this person? Yeah. And what was this something? If I remembered what it was, I wouldn't be calling it a something, would I?
Well, but that implies that something was removed from the scene of the crime. Are you sure you really can't remember, Mr. Powers?
I think it was something kind of small.
I would like to summarize the testimony up to this point, if you don't mind. When the bellboy left the crime scene, he immediately went to the defendant's room. There, he handed a small item of some sort to the person inside, and for the person who received the item, all you could see was the person's arm.
Yes, yes, it was just like that.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, is all this really that important?
Of course, Your Honor.
I think that this is of the utmost importance. This is when whatever was removed from the crime scene was handed over to the client. Mr. Powers, please try to remember what the bellboy handed off.
Well, let's see. I think it was... No.
If you remember, please add it to your testimony.
Yes, sir. If I saw it again, I could say for sure, but I think it was some sort of wooden statue. Wooden statue.
Do we have anything? Do we have a statue?
Is this wooden? Oh, it is wooden! Yeah, okay, I don't see anything else that's wooden.
What was the point of that pregnant pause? Where did that objection come from? Well, speak up.
It was me, Your Honor.
What is it, Phoenix?
Well, I have a feeling that something bad is going to happen once I show this.
Mr. Wright, if you have something to say, please spit it out.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Phoenix, deep breath. Mr. Powers, the something you saw.
Was it this item? Oh, hey, that's it. That's the something. Wow, Mr. Wright, you really figured it out.
I recall we found this at Madame Guard's mansion. Well, at the defendant's house? What does this mean? Well, it's simple, Your Honor. Shelley the killer assassinated Juan Corrida in his room. And then he stole this wooden bear from the scene of the crime. Then the bear found at Mr. Engarde's mansion would mean... It goes without saying, Your Honor. Mr. Matt Engarde is the killer's client. Order! 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 I said order! Mr. Wright, this is a most unfortunate turn of events for you. Yeah. Sorry, Mia.
No, it's alright. Your judgment was sound. Actually, I figured the bear would come up. If not now, then it would have later on. Even if you hadn't shown it to the court, I'm sure your friend Edgeworth would have. I almost forgot that he knew about it too. I think it is clear that there is no need for us to continue this trial. I can't let this happen. I have to do something. There has to be something we've overlooked. Your Honor, a minute, please.
Yes, Mr. Wright?
There are still a few points left we have not fully explored.
What are you trying to pull? Oh, well, we can't have that. All right, Mr. Wright. What questionable point would you like to explore further?
I need to know who got the bear, because if it wasn't Matt Powers, then... Or not Matt Powers. If it wasn't Matt Engarde, then who? There was one thing in Mr. Powers' testimony that was very unclear, and that's the identity of the person who received the bear. Yeah, he gave something to the person inside the room. I'm sorry, but I only saw the person's arm. As long as we don't know who it is that took the bear, we can't be sure of... Ah!
Huh? What is it, Mr. Powers? If you're going to scream like that, at least give us a good reason why.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Well, actually, so, I remembered. I remembered who took the bear.
What? Really?
Oh, I mean, I only saw his arm. But, the arm... It was the Nickel Samurai's arm, I swear it. But wasn't Adrian Andrews wearing the Nickel Samurai costume? Wasn't Adrian the one in the costume? Because she had gone... Oh, no. How do I... You've got to be kidding.
Are you sure of that, Mr. Powers?
Yeah, I'm sure it was the Nickel Samurai. Yeah, but like... This would have been the point where... This couldn't have been... Well, maybe it could have been Matt, but like...
Order! Order! It looks like you've dug your own grave yet again.
How many times is that today? I've lost count. Put down the shovel, Phoenix! Stop digging!
So the person who took in this little bear was the Nickel Samurai. And as we all know, Matt on Guard is the Nickel Samurai.
Yes, as we all know, you ginormous fanboy. Edgeworth loves the Nickel Samurai. He loved the Steel Samurai better.
Thanks to the defense, we've made all that all the clearer.
What am I supposed to do now? Mia, help!
You don't have time to act lost. You've got to find another angle to attack this from. Hurry!
Now I will bring this cross-examination to...
Your Honor!
Again, Mr. Wright? We've already removed any and all questionable areas of the testimony. It's about time you were removed from this court, Mr. Wright.
I have to find something. Even one more little point will do. There are still questions left unanswered.
What are you trying to pull?
Oh, well, we can't have that. Alright, Mr. Wright, what questionable point would you like to explore further?
I don't know, the bear itself, I guess. I think it's fairly obvious that the bear itself is very questionable.
Well, the bear, Mr. Wright...
This was found at Mr. Engarde's mansion. However, Mr. Engarde was arrested at the hotel that night, which means that since the murder occurred, he has not had a chance to go home.
Oh.
I think Your Honor has already figured out what I'm trying to say. It is not possible that it was Mr. Engarde who took this bear to his mansion.
Ooh. Why, that's very true. We didn't consider that point, Mr. Wright. There was no way, time-wise, for the defendant to have taken the bear home.
Phew. Disaster averted.
You haven't gotten the best of me yet, Mr. Wright.
Huh?
I remember it clear as day. I remember what you muttered to yourself at Engarde's mansion. We have this area completely surrounded. There's no way for him to escape.
I can't believe it.
That butler, all this time, he was DeKiller. DeKiller and Engarde were working together, so to speak. And DeKiller was hiding at Engarde Mansion as its butler.
What a bold move!
The bear figurine was brought back to Engarde Mansion by DeKiller himself. When it looked like he was about to be arrested, Engarde had him do so. I assume because it would have been bad had the police found it during their investigation. Well, Mr. Wright, you've been quiet for a while now.
I know you were joking about them giving the bear to DeKiller, but, lol, turns out... This is too much. Isn't there anything I can attack at all?
Okay.
Oh, I think we've heard enough. We now know that why this bear figurine was at the defendant's mansion, as well as who it was that received the bear from the assassin in his room. Everything has become very clear. The client who hired the assassin to commit the murder was Mr. Matt Engarde. I see no reason for this trial to continue, therefore I will now hand down my verdict.
Thank you, Your Honor, for your understanding. You see, Mr. Wright? You could not win against the truth, could you? I knew it would turn out this way. After all, what Edgeworth has stated is the truth.
Any last objections, Mr. Wright?
Well, do I? What should I do? Raise an objection!
Oh,
There's only one way for me to drag this trial out. The only thing I have left is this one dirty trick. Prosecutors hate him! See, this defense attorney's one dirty trick. Your Honor, right now we have these two reasons to believe my client is a client of the assassin. Reason number 1, he accepted the bear figurine from the assassin. Reason number 2, that very same figurine was found at On Guard Mansion. However, it's possible this is all the work of a certain other person.
what are you saying?
What I'm saying is, it's possible a different person is the killer's real client.
The real client?
Yes. Is that all you have?
Well, now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your theory. Who do you say is the real client of the killer? And therefore, the real murderer.
Where are you, Adrian?
Adrian Andrews?
Yes. We already know that she tried to frame Matt On Guard for the crime. By wearing the spare nickel samurai costume. Ah! Then the nickel samurai's armor that I saw. That could very well have been Miss Andrews.
Oh, but what about Mr. On Guard?
If you'd please recall yesterday's testimony. The defendant was taking a nap during the break period.
Well, that's right. Then, finding this figure at Mr. On Guard's mansion?
It was a well-laid trap set by Miss Andrews.
Mr. Edgeworth, what's your opinion on this?
I can't even begin to count the flaws in the defense's logic. Besides which, there is no evidence to support it. However, I can't fully discount its possibility either. Oh, the peanut galleries! I can't believe the defense would go so far as to pin the guilt on someone else. Yeah, On Guard obviously did it. Unbelievable! It's not something pretty, it's a murder of all things. This is to save Maya. This is to save Maya. Even if the whole world turns against me, this is one fight I can't give up on.
Order! 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 All disruptive parties will be forced to leave the courtroom.
Your Honor, for the benefit of the defense, I'm willing to play along with his what-if game.
His what-if game, Mr. Edgeworth?
The prosecution is prepared to challenge the defense's theory. Mr. Wright, even you must have thought it strange and wondered, why would the criminal want this little wooden bear? He's right. The killer did specially bring that bear to On Guard right away. Why do you ask? Is there something special about it? Absolutely. And I'm sure that once the court knows its significance, the true killer's identity will become crystal clear. Your Honor, the prosecution calls upon a witness who will clear all doubts against Ms. Andrews.
Well, who would that be?
It's quite simple, Your Honor. Miss Adrian Andrews herself. Really? Again?
Oh, I see. Well then, the court will take a short 10-minute recess. The prosecution will prepare its witness in that time.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay. You again, and your chalky milk. Can't you go back to be refreshing like a spring breeze instead of like disc 1 boss of a punk fighting game? Like doesn't he feel like you should be playing like Street Fighter and this is the disc 1 boss?
This man feels like if I played Double Dragon, he'd be like the first, you'd get through the first like stages and this is what you would get as the boss. Like he wouldn't even graduate to helicopter boss, my favorite one. Worst one. Ooh, we hydrate as chat demands. Ooh. And a big stretch.
Body break.
Big stretch. Oh, and a body break too. Oh my golly. Ha. Ha. Okay, let's do shoulder presses. Whew. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. There we go. Oh yeah, right, I gave him a Valley Girl accent, but Valley Boy.
Oh, I knew it was a good idea to hold her hostage. Don't you agree, Mr. Lawyer? But I never thought in your desperation you'd try to pin the guild onto Adrian. I swear this demon will pay.
Mr. Nick!
Pearls? Where's Mia?
I don't know. A really strong power suddenly called her away.
A really strong power?
Oh, Mr. Nick, your phone is...
It's from Gumshoe. How's it going? Have you been hanging in there, pal? Yeah, sort of. We just barely found something to latch onto. Phew, that's good, pal. And what about you? Anything yet? Have you figured out where the killer and Maya are? We still don't have any leads, but... What? We don't have any more time. Well, if we just had one, even a single clue would be really helpful. I was only able to come this far because I kept thinking to myself, I've got to keep the trial going until Maya's been rescued. But I've just run out of luck. But have I just run out of luck this time? Is all our hope for naught? A tent! Huh? A tent? I could see a circus tent. Mia! It looks like Maya was unconscious until just a few minutes ago. As soon as she woke up, she called for me. So it was Maya that called you away. She's locked in a dusty little room right now. But I could see a circus tent outside the window about 300 feet away. Gumshoe! Is there a circus in town right now? There's only one, pal. The very big circus. Maya's somewhere within a 300-foot radius of the main tent. What? Okay, hold on a sec, pal. Hey, draw a circle on that map, about 300-foot radius from the main tent. Hurry! And? I could see a mailbox under the window. Gumshoe, there's also a mailbox. Huh. Okay, what else? What else, Mia? I'm sorry, but it was a very small window. I couldn't see anything else. It felt like I was in an old office building, maybe the 3rd floor or so. I heard her! An old office building. Good stuff, pal! Okay, just hang in there. Just a little longer, pal. Wish us luck. Good luck. I'll call you later, so don't let your battery die, okay, pal? Mia's not hurt, right? She's in a pretty bad state, Phoenix. She's being starved. Gumshoe, please hurry. Looks like we're out of time. Are you alright, Phoenix? It's only a matter of time before Maya's rescued. I can do this. I just have to make this trial last a little longer. Court will now reconvene. Okay. The killer, the man who murdered the victim, handed this to his client. From this, one obvious question arises. Why this particular item? I believe the answer to that question will be provided... will provide us with the name of the real criminal.
Oh boy, I bet this bear's a transformer. I don't remember this case very well from here, actually. Did I? Well, I guess we'll see.
Now then, the prosecution calls the defendant's manager, Adrian Andrews, to the stand. Currently, the witness is accused of tampering and obstruction of justice. However, you've been called to the witness stand today to ascertain who exactly is guilty of murder. I understand. Very good. Now, have you ever seen this bear before, Miss Andrews? Oh, of course I have. You've seen it before? That's right. It's only natural that the witness has. Miss Andrews, could you please enlighten the court to this bear's secrets? All right. Why does she...
Why does she know what the bear is?
Actually, this is an elaborate puzzle. If you know the correct order, it can be taken apart one piece at a time. At its center is a small cavity with just enough room to store a small item. Because of its complexity, if you don't know the order, you can't open the bear. You really can't tell that it's a small jewelry box just by looking at it.
Oh, it's one of those! I love those things! They're called step puzzles sometimes, or whatever. What you do with them, you guys have probably seen a very simple one in the form of a little plastic puzzle ball, where you've got a bunch of different pieces that you slot out. Yeah, that you slide in and out, and you can't slide one piece unless you slide the other one correctly. They usually have a piece shaped something like a weird number 1, that is the final piece that you slot in, and it goes from one side to the other. But there are more complicated versions of those, and a lot of them are puzzle boxes like this. If you guys want to see more about like what those puzzles are, there's probably the biggest YouTuber I know who does that stuff is called Mr. Puzzle. He does, well, puzzles like that. A lot of really cool tactile puzzles and things. And it's not just these kind either. Like a jigsaw puzzle. A little bit. Like a jigsaw puzzle, but in 3D. But not like Puzz 3D. That's different. That's just a jigsaw puzzle that has foam backing on the pieces. But yeah, it is a little bit like a jigsaw puzzle. He's a little more excitable these days, but if you like lockpicking lawyer, you're gonna like watching Mr. Puzzle do things too. I like the cool puzzles. Step puzzles are a little bit boring for me because if they have too many steps, I get tired of them and I don't want to do them. A lot of step puzzles are like you click the pieces in and out in an order and then you do that order again but with one less piece and so on until it's done. Like Towers of Hanoi, which is surely is a puzzle. Some people call that the pancake puzzle too, I've heard, but I know it as Towers of Hanoi. Puzzle boxes, though, are really cool because they always have something fun and interesting inside.
So this figurine, it's a container of sorts, is it?
Yes. Looks can be deceiving, wouldn't you agree?
Well, yes, this is superb craftsmanship. Oh, yes, I nearly forgot. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
It looks like there really was something to that bear after all. A puzzle? That's right.
But it looks like an ordinary figurine.
True enough. To people who don't know, I'm sure they would never guess that this was a puzzle. So what kind of puzzle is this exactly? If you know the correct order, it can be taken apart one piece at a time. So you can take it apart? And how would you go about doing that? Well, you first turn its tail to the right and then push it in.
Oh, yes, I see.
After that, the arms and legs are free to move and can be removed.
Oh, this is most interesting.
Ah, boy and his new toy. It's like he's 5 all over again.
Oh, don't mind me. Go ahead and carry on.
I think he's lost it. So what do you find after you take the puzzle apart? A small cavity. And how do you know about this? I know because I was the one who bought it. Huh? It was a souvenir from when a friend and I went to Switzerland.
Well then, this was a present from you?
That's right. It was a puzzle in the shape of a bear, so I thought it would be perfect for Juan. So it was a present from Miss Andrews.
Witness, let's continue with your testimony.
Because of its complexity, if you didn't know the order, you can't open the bear. So who exactly knew how to solve this puzzle? Only the two of us, Juan and myself. It was a souvenir from Switzerland, so I doubt there are many people with that same bear in this country.
But this looks like it can be easily broken, especially if someone wanted to get what was inside.
Well, it's a toy. But it can never be the same once again once it's been broken. Who else knows that this bear is actually a small container or jewelry box? I never told anyone. And as long as Juan never told anyone either, then only the two of us knew. 2 of you, huh? Then of course that means Mr. Engarde didn't know, right? I think this is about all I'm going to get for now. Well, Mr. Wright, I think even you have to come to realize that there is one very important fact we have uncovered, and that is this. This bear is actually a jewelry box. Now that we've agreed to this point, there's only one logical question that can come next, and that is this. What is inside this box? What's in the box?
What's inside?
That's right. That's what we are going to find out next, witness. Yes? You are the only one who can open this. Please. There's a painful silence hanging over the courtroom. All eyes are on Ms. Andrews now as she solves the puzzle and takes the bear apart. I've opened it. Is this what you wanted?
Well, what is that? It looks like a note?
I don't think we need to guess at what that is, do we, Mr. Wright? It's the suicide note.
The suicide note?
The suicide note left by Juan Corrida's former manager, Celeste Impax. Until now, no one knew of its whereabouts, but just as we suspected, it was hidden. Hidden by the victim, Juan Corrida himself. It seems Celeste Impax had very beautiful handwriting, and she was just as beautifully signed her own name on this document. This is most definitely the note she left right before she committed suicide. Okay.
Oh, order! Witness, did you know about this?
Yes, I did. I heard all about it from Juan. When I discovered his body, I looked for the bear. I wanted to destroy the note before it became public, but I couldn't find it anywhere. Because it had already been taken by the killer. Everything is going at Mr. Edgeworth's pace. So now that the suicide note has been found, what's the next logical question? What's written on the note? That's right. At least, that's what I would think. Now then, I believe it is only appropriate the contents of this note be made known. I can't stop you, can I? I went through so much just to get my hands on it. And I was gonna burn it for her sake.
I'm deeply sorry, but I can't allow you to persuade me to stop. Your Honor, if you could please read the contents of the note aloud.
Very well.
The judge's voice rang loud and clear through the dead silent courtroom. In her note, Celeste Impax left to us a record of all that had happened to her, about being used and then thrown away by En Garde, about being engaged to Kurita and En Garde's role in destroying that, and about how she decided in her despair to end it all.
Well, that's all Miss Impax had to say.
There is one thing I would like to say here. The prosecution has no interest in slandering Mr. En Garde.
Then, what?
Our intention, Your Honor, is to establish a motive for murder. Isn't that correct, witness? Yes. On the night of the murder, Juan was going to make the contents of the note public. After the post-ceremony show, he was going to hold a press conference. Ooh. Well, it was saving it all for that run, clearly. Had to get all the gumballs out the way.
My word!
Matt En Garde values above all else his refreshing like a spring breeze image, which is why he had to stop this note from being made public. At any cost.
But how does he know what it says?
What's En Garde's fault that woman killed herself? And this time he even went so far as to kill someone to stop him from revealing that. How terrible! What a selfish person!
I guess there are slimeball lawyers out there who will defend these creeps too.
There's no margin for doubt here. Mr. De Killer's client's goal was to obtain this suicide note, and the only person who needed this note that badly is the defendant. Let's not forget that the bear with the note inside was found at the defendant's house.
Well, it seems we've come to the truth at last. The defendant's motives were entirely selfish. He deserves no sympathy from anyone.
How am I supposed to escape from this one? Why the hesitation, Phoenix? Gumshoe hasn't called yet, so you know what you must do. I know. I have to carry on and buy him some more time. Okay. There are two deadly pieces of evidence, the figurine and the suicide note. Maybe somehow I can find a way out of this situation through one of those. The gavel is already in the judge's hand. Phoenix, hurry! I think the suicide note. Matt doesn't know what it says.
Objection!
Please wait, Your Honor.
Oh man, look at that lawyer.
He's still going at it. Well, it's like he doesn't care that he's trying to get a killer off the hook.
I think Your Honor believes that Matt En Garde killed in order to obtain this note.
Yes, that is correct.
But that seems a little strange. In fact, I think there's a contradiction here. This note was hidden by Mr. Kurita until the night of the murder. And if that is the case, I say that Matt En Garde could not have known what was written on this note.
I know, right? Welcome in, Tanglegut. What good timing.
Oh, I didn't think of it that way.
Exactly. But I did think of it that way, and I thought it was rather strange. No one in their right mind would kill for a note without first knowing what it said.
Order! Order! Order!
Oh, I get it. Remember the time when I thought you were talking about Dandy? Wow. When you were talking about Dandy and I thought you meant Chloe? Uh-huh. That's because tone doesn't come through written word.
You make a valid point, Mr. Wright. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion?
Why are you asking the prosecution this?
It was just a flash, but I think I did rather well on that one. Unfortunately. I think he believes differently.
Edgeworth!
I believe a show of appreciation is in order.
Huh?
The defense seems to be in love with wishing more despair upon itself.
No, the defense seems to be in love with you, Edgeworth.
I would like to direct the court's attention to this.
What is that?
It's a very small video camera, Your Honor. The type of camera is commonly used as a means of spying.
Spying?
What the... I thought that spy camera was in my possession. Matt on guard and the victim both thought of the other as their biggest rival. They even went so far as to use this type of item to find each other's weaknesses.
And?
The victim, Juan Carita, was being spied on. His personal life was being watched by none other than Matt on guard.
Order! Order! Mr. Wright!
Yes, Your Honor?
You... Don't tell me you knew about your client's spying activities.
Well, sort of.
Sort of is not an acceptable answer, Mr. Wright.
I see you're confused, Mr. Wright. You're probably thinking, but I have the camera that was in that stuffed bear's eye. But this camera that I have is not the same one. Last night I searched the victim's house on a hunch. Using this.
Gumshoe's bug sweeper?
And by the way, Mr. Wright, the defendant's fingerprints were found on this camera.
Mr. On Guard's fingerprints were on there?
Without a warrant, Mr. Edgeworth? He's a prosecution attorney. He just broke into that guy's house. He doesn't need a warrant. We also don't need proper evidence rules. All the evidence for a trial has to be submitted before the trial starts normally. There's not usually any of this like back and forth.
Where'd you come from, Mississippi?
It's too late, Fier. I'm forklift certified. Oh no! Too fancy.
Well, Phoenix, it looks like those cameras were hidden all over the place, huh? What am I supposed to say to that evidence? I think this is the end. It's fairly obvious that Mr. On Guard learned of the suicide note through this. He was watching the victim all along. He got me good this time. I don't have anything to counter that.
Hey, now what's that lawyer thinking?
Mommy, is that man the bad killer guy?
Shh, stop. Don't look at him. The way he's sweating is just so, ew, nasty. Phoenix. Yes, Chief? Have you figured out what you're going to do next yet? What I'm going to do next? Does running away like a frightened child work? I know it seems like Mr. Edgeworth is very close to putting the lid on this case, but in his eagerness to prove his point, he forgot one very important thing. Well, what is it, Mia? There is a piece of evidence here that we really should investigate. Something he should investigate? What? I'd really hate to see the good prosecutor get scolded for not remembering to look into the item when he had the chance. Why are you speaking in riddles all of a sudden?
Because this is the final case of the game, Phoenix. Don't worry, child. He's just an anime protagonist, so his expressions are super exaggerated. Oh, the note itself! Chad, I think you're onto something.
Alright, I think this time we finally understand everything. Well, Mr. Wright, you don't have any further objections, do you?
What is this piece of evidence that Mia's talking about? Can I figure it out? What needs to be blah blah blah?
Present evidence. I have an objection, Your Honor. That was about the weakest objection I've ever heard, Mr. Wright.
Yeah, he didn't even yell objection.
Objection!
Your Honor, the defense has no intentions of letting this go so easily.
You're beginning to sound desperate.
That's just your imagination, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth, this is not like you at all. In your eagerness to prove your point, you've forgotten one very important thing.
Hey, isn't that what I just said?
So, you're telling me that I forgot something. You're so close, Mr. Edgeworth. But there's something you really should examine about this piece of evidence. Chat says the note and I'm with him.
Take that!
That is Ms. Impax's suicide note, right?
Who knows? I mean, sure, this suicide note was found inside this bear, but this bear was in my possession until a few moments ago. Which means the handwriting on this suicide note has yet to be analyzed.
Oh!
So, as to whether this pivotal piece of evidence was really written by Miss Impax or not, has yet to be even remotely confirmed.
Mr. Wright, you can't seriously be saying...
Mr. Wright, are you saying the suicide note is a fake? Miss Andrews, you were the one who tried to pin this murder on Mr. Ungard. Who's to say you didn't create a fake suicide note and put it in this bear? How dare you? Your Honor, the defense is indiscriminately accusing the witness again. There's no evidence linking the witness to the suicide note whatsoever. But if this is a fake, then the witness is the only person who could have made it. What? Recall the witness's testimony concerning this figurine. The only person other than the victim who could have solved this puzzle is the witness herself. That's the 9th time her glasses have shattered. I think. Like, the first time today, but definitely like a lot of times her glasses have shattered. Miss Andrews, you wrote this note, didn't you? You wrote it so you could use it to frame Matt Ungard. I did no such thing. Right. If you're going to pronounce this suicide note a fake, then show this court some evidence to support your theory. Do I show them the bear? Mr. Edgeworth, you were the one who presented this scrap of paper as evidence. That means the burden of proof lies with you, the prosecution. Oh, Phoenix is right, actually.
That's enough! Mr. Edgeworth, can you confirm the handwriting on the suicide note?
It is as the defense has stated, the handwriting has yet to be analyzed.
Well, if that's the case, it seems that yet again we have reached a point where a verdict is impossible.
Your Honor, I'd like to excuse the witness on account of her being very cute. So would I! Adrian Andrews. She is very cute. Not as cute as April May. I say that. April May is questionable at best. He is right. Yes. Yes, of course. That's impossible. This isn't good, Phoenix. The judge is going to carry this trial over one more day. I don't think Mayo will physically be able to make it another day.
I didn't want to have to do this, but I don't have a choice. I request that both the prosecution and defense further investigate.
Handwriting analysis, my butt. That's just the lawyer trying to buy more time. Ungard is guilty. Look, any idiot can tell you that.
I think we've reached the end of the line.
Guilty, guilty, guilty. Guilty, guilty, guilty. Guilty, guilty, guilty.
Etc.
What is that sound?
Something that shouldn't be in a courtroom. It's Gumshoe.
Hello, Gumshoe? What's with him? And what's with that sigh? Where's Maya? What happened to the killer? He got away. What? I'm sorry, pal. I really am. I don't know what to say besides I'm sorry. I wish there was some way to make it up to you. I really do. Anyway, what am I going to do? We found his hideout, pal, but the two of them were already gone. This is terrible. I'm gonna keep looking for them, pal. Don't you worry. I just need a little more time. But don't tell me we don't have any more.
Guilty, guilty, guilty. Guilty, guilty, guilty. Guilty, guilty, guilty.
Do you hear that? They're calling for his head. Aw, Mr. Wright, I can't. For us to come this far and... Oh! What is it? Let me talk to Mr. Edgeworth. I can't do that. Mr. Wright, would you please get a hold of yourself? Yes, Your Honor. I'm about to end today's proceedings. You may take your phone calls after. Hold on, Your Honor. Edgeworth, catch! Mr. Edgeworth? Please, you've got to buy us some more time. Court is in session. I'm sorry, Your Honor. You were saying? Mr. Wright, this is a court of law. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but... I am reluctant to do this. However, it appears that I have no choice but to suspend proceedings until tomorrow. This time I really can't do anything. Court is now adjourned for the day. Wait, what?
I didn't know Stitch was in the jury. Of course. Stitch and eventually Goopert. We do love Goopert. Goopert, I gave the voice of a Muppet. And it's really hard to do. Because sometimes what comes out is Smeagol instead.
Please wait, Your Honor. Edgeworth? What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I humbly request another 30 minutes of Your Honor's time. For what purpose? We can perform the necessary tests on this piece of evidence in that time. But can you really obtain the results in 30 minutes? I believe we can, Your Honor. But wouldn't it be better if we adjourned for today and then reconvene tomorrow? 30 minutes. Please, Your Honor. That's all I'm asking for. Please, Your Honor. Very well. At the prosecution's request, this court will now take a 30-minute recess. But be advised that I will not allow another recess today. I'm not sure if this is helping or hurting us. The court will now take its final recess of the day.
Deus Ex Edgeworth. We love this man. He's too pretty.
Right. Well, what's going on with Maya's situation? The killer, it looks like he got away again. 30 minutes? We can't find her in that time.
He's trying so hard.
Report.
Is that Mr. Edgeworth?
We don't have time. Just spit it out.
Right. It looks like we just missed them, sir. But the killer left a few things behind by accident in his rush to get away.
A few things.
Can we use any of them as evidence? Ho ho ho! I thought you'd ask, pal. I've got the things he left with me right now, and I'm on my way over.
Really? That's odd. Any items like that are usually sent to the crime lab first.
We don't have time to wait for those guys, sir. When those guys weren't looking, I swiped the stuff and ran.
What?
Well, I'm not a detective anymore, so I had to. I'm really sorry, sir, but I got to put the law on hold for now.
Sounds bad. I hope he doesn't get in too much trouble over this.
Ooh, an unfun fact. Bear with me. When I get through this, I'll get it.
With my hunk of junk car, I'd say I'll be there in about 20 minutes, sir. Don't worry, I'll be there. Wait for me. All right. Just get here in one piece. I'm on a mission and no one can stop me now, sir. No one. I'm pulling out all the stops and running every red light. Items left by the murderer, huh? Maybe there's something among them that will be decisive enough to end this. Hello? Hey, what's wrong? Detective Gumshoe? Answer me. No one can stop. What happened? It sounded like he had an accident. I'm guessing his cell phone broke as well. Well, what was he thinking? We've got to hurry and call for help. But we have no idea where he is. His cell phone is broken, and he wasn't driving a patrol car, so no radio either.
Why, done been bonked. Oh. Wait, hold on. You guys are right. Francisca has a tracking device on him. That's uncomfortable, but she does. Yeah. We'll find him. Oh, right, of course. Unfun fact time. Actually, you know what? That is a good unfun fact. So, if you have a cell phone, especially a smartphone, it's very easy to triangulate where you are. The problem is that sometimes, though it is very easy to triangulate where you are, that triangulation isn't always perfect. That's a you problem. Twitch being slow is a you problem. My upload is as it always is. So what that means, is that sometimes it's difficult for you to be found. That's why, if you're calling emergency services, you should at least try to give a description of the area that you're in, because they cannot necessarily track your cell phone. What's really interesting about this is that, and frustrating about this, is that though emergency services can't necessarily track your cell phone perfectly, you know what can? Food delivery services. They're very, very good at that. But that's partially because they're usually only going to a house, and oftentimes they already have a good idea of the addresses and the areas around. But that's also partially because they have other ways of tracking and tracing you besides your cell phone. But yeah, if you're ever calling emergency services from a cell phone, tell them what you can about the area around you. It's very important that they know where you are because they cannot tell from your phone. Depending on the country you live in, of course. In the US, they cannot tell from your phone. And I suppose the other thing is, if you're going somewhere and you don't want people to know... Yeah, so official authorities aren't that good, but the pizza man can do it better? Kind of. It's because the person who's delivering your pizza knows their way around your neighborhood. They know where you are, because they know your neighborhood because they've delivered pizza there before. So, if it's... Imagine, for instance, that a pizza delivery, you forget to give your address, but the signal pings off an empty lot. But there's an apartment building next door. They're gonna go to the apartment building. That kind of thing. Whereas emergency services doesn't know where you are. You could be anywhere, so they will go to the empty lot, because they're like, well, they could just be hurt right there. It's one of those weird things. Oh, that also means that if you're ever going out somewhere, and you don't want to be found for some reason, not because you might be up to no good, but because you just don't want people to be able to find you easily, leave your phone at home. don't take it with you. If you need communication of some kind, and you're not sure how to do that, leave your phone at home. You'll figure something out. Anyway, right, back to this.
Also, if we don't get those items before they do, the police will take possession of them.
No! We can't let that happen.
Well, if there is a way we can find out where he is, then we stand a chance.
Why, oh why did Gumshoe have to get into an accident now? Is there any way to find out exactly where he is at this moment? There is a way. That's right, there is a way.
What? How?
I'm sure we can find out where Detective Gumshoe is through this. Where is it? I don't have anything here. Oh, I know. What if we just what if we just you herself?
Take that!
Why are you bringing up Francisca at a time like... Oh, I see.
On pizza, my favorite is Veggie's Delight. Ooh. Fear, I'm trying to imagine a stream on April Fool's Day for you. Maybe I'll let Aquarium staff stream for me. Or, alternatively, I had an idea. I thought if Aquarium staff... This is not drawn by me. You guys know that I didn't draw my own picture. I thought if Aquarium staff would let me draw a picture, that I could draw a potato. I could draw a funny little potato. And then I could be a V-tuber. A little potato in the shape of a V. And be a V-tuber. I think it's funny. I know, right? I'd imagine that you'd be a squid instead of an octopus. Yes, let me tape 2 tentacles to me. 2 poorly drawn tentacles. I'll make them out of paper. These are all silly. I like them. You guys know what I want to do? I want to play Neopets again. I haven't played Neopets in ages. We should do that. Is it even worth playing? Can I still adopt a Shoiryu? Shoryu? I'd want to adopt an Aisha. Or a Poogle. I have so many Neopets I liked. And instead of the aquarium background, it's just a desert. Ooh. It could be anything. Oh, I could make it anything. Oh! There is an overlay I considered. Well, we'll see about that later. I intended to have it ready for New Year's. And I also intended to reshoot my intro video, but then I forgot.
I'll try to get in contact with her. The chances are slim, but she's all we have. Francisca, will she even want to help us?
She'll help Edgeworth.
Edgeworth, what is it? I don't have any right to judge anyone ever again. I know my client's guilty, but what I'm doing now, I'm pinning the guilt onto someone totally innocent and using the evidence to do so. It might be my turn to say defense attorney Phoenix Wright chooses death. Right. It doesn't suit someone like you to cry useless tears. Whether you did your job well or not, that can only be seen after the verdict has been decided. The verdict? Was Prosecutor Edgeworth here? Yes, bailiff. Oh, there's a phone call for you, sir. They said it was extremely urgent. They're probably finished with the handwriting analysis. I have to go take this call. In the meantime, think hard about what it is you must do.
I'm glad everyone likes Francisca so well. Phoenix and Francisca are great.
Okay.
Right. Before we reconvene for court, I'm gonna be right back, because my water is empty. And I need that to live. Ace Attorney, but a new case gets added every 5 minutes. That's what Capcom would like to do. Alright, I'll be right back, everybody. All right, and we're back. You know what Capcom should like to do? Make me a Mega Man. What? Why would they make you a Mega Man when they could just re-release Mega Man whatever they are? They could re-release a Mega Man. They could release a Mega Man collection of all the other Mega Men they've made. They don't need to make a new Mega Man. I wish they would. I wish they would make a good Mega Man. Not a bad Mega Man. I would love that. I would play that. I wouldn't be good at it, but I would play it. You know what? That tears it. You guys, I'm gonna play you a Mega Man one of these days. We'll see what comes first. I won't be good at it. Bad Mega Man? Which recent Mega Man game was bad? I don't know. I know zero things about Mega Man. We've been over this. I've played 2 Mega Mans. I've played Mega Man and Bass, the SNES version on a bootleg translation, and I have played Battle Network, and I don't know which one. Hooray! Roblox for some of you, Mega Man for others. I'll have to go watch the speedrunners play some Mega Man so I don't get scared. Speedrun tech. Okay.
Court will now reconvene. I assume both sides are ready.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
I can understand the defense acting like this. However, why do you also seem distraught, Mr. Edgeworth?
It's nothing, Your Honor. What's wrong with Edgeworth? It looks like something unexpected just happened to him.
Well, now then, Mr. Edgeworth, could you please tell the court the results of the handwriting analysis on Miss Impact's suicide note?
Yes, Your Honor. Unfortunately, we have discovered that the suicide note is a forgery.
What?
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
This note was not written by Ms. Impax herself. It is a fake.
Rabble, rabble!
Order! 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 Mr. Edgeworth, would you care to explain what is going on? If this was not written by Ms. Impax, then who wrote it?
We would need more time to do a more detailed analysis, however. It appears that the handwriting matches that of the victim, Mr. Wong Kurita. Mr. Kurita?
Oh boy! Oh, I was gonna try my hand at speedrunning, and I think I yet still will. There's a couple of games I think I can play well enough to do that. So I'm gonna try. It's kind of weird because, like, speedrunning is a thing I think is really neat, and I like to watch it a lot, but I never thought that I could, like, do the thing. So once I get the hang of how LiveSplit works, I'm gonna take you guys along on some speedrun adventures, where I try really hard to do the thing. Admittedly, the first 2 probably won't be very exciting, but I'm gonna try anyway! I got my Cheetos. They're not really Cheetos. They're cheese balls. They come in a big jar with a purple top. And I've been on this jar for several months. Objection! Good night, Catoid! Welcome in, Darth Unmade!
Well, well. It looks like Ms. Impact never left a suicide note after all. She never wrote anything about On Guard. However, Your Honor, even though this suicide note is indeed a fake, Mr. On Guard could not have known that. So the facts remained unchanged. Acting under the assumption that it was real, he had plotted to possess it.
That does sound very plausible.
This theory that On Guard had no idea the suicide note was fake. Something seems a little wrong with it.
Happy New Year! I forgot again that it was 2025, but it is!
The defense believes that the theory the prosecution has stated contradicts testimony. If everything the prosecution has proven up to this point is true, then it's impossible for Mr. On Guard to not have known this was a fake. Where's the spy camera? But,
What is this little item called again?
a video camera, Your Honor. Well, a very small one, but...
Oh, that's right, a camera. Ah, you kids and your fancy toys nowadays.
Mr. Edgeworth, earlier you claimed that Mr. On Guard knew of the existence of this note because he was spying on the victim, isn't that right? If that were true, then this means Mr. On Guard would have known that the victim had forged the note.
So then, the defendant knew the suicide note was a fake. And if that's true, then the situation has suddenly changed in a very dramatic way.
Exactly, Your Honor. The prosecution's theory as to what Mr. On Guard's motive for murder was, it's suddenly disappeared into thin air. But, Your Honor, it's not as if Mr. On Guard monitored Mr. Kurita 24 hours a day. Perhaps the victim wrote the note in a place Mr. On Guard didn't know of. Well, right back at you, Mr. Edgeworth. Why don't you show us some proof that the victim made the forgery at an unknown place?
We're about to see Shelly the Killer!
Order! 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 Mr. Edgeworth, it looks like this time it is you who has dug your own grave. As I figured. Huh? As you figured?
As I figured, it came down to this after all.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, you're not making any sense.
When I heard the results of the handwriting analysis, I thought this might happen. The question is, what next? What next? If the prosecution can't prove Mr. On Guard's motive through the evidence, then we must prove it from another angle.
Well, I agree with you there.
Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call a witness to the stand at this time.
Oh! Well, that's fine.
However, this witness is a little unusual. Edgeworth stuttering? That's not like him at all.
He only stutters when he's nervous, which is rare, and I'd like to see more of.
Unusual? Well, what sort of witness is this person, Mr. Edgeworth?
The witness is the one who is perfectly fit to answer once and for all the question of who was it that hired Shelly the Killer to commit murder.
Oh boy, we're calling Shelly the killer. That's impossible. Who in the... No such person exists who can answer that question with such certainty. It was me. I hired him. Chat! No!
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth, who is the witness? It's, Yes, go on, who is it? The man himself, Mr. Shelley DeKiller. Oh, Mr. DeKiller. Wait! Shelley DeKiller?
A dog? Yes. A good pupper. Clearly.
You mean the killer, or I mean the assassin? Yes, Your Honor. He's coming here? To the witness stand? Well, yes, in a manner of speaking. I recognize that this is a very unusual circumstance, so I ask for your permission. Well, Mr. Wright? Yes? Is this all right with you? Do I have a choice here? I can't really do much else to drag this trial out. The defense has no objections, Your Honor. Well, I wonder if it really is all right to do this. Very well, then. The prosecution calls our witness to the stand. Well, Edgeworth, is there no other way left to us? Now then, witness. Your name and your, occupation, please.
Oh, Commander Tartar. Welcome back, buddy. Died whatever year I finished Octo Expansion, reborn today. Welcome back, Tartar. Yes. I want to play Side Order again. I still haven't done everything there is to do in there. I did beat the main story, but... There's a couple of color chips I think I don't have. Ooh, a baby Cheeto. Oh, I didn't like that. Captain Cuttlefish! It's okay, Craig's retired now. His name is Craig. I can't believe it's Craig. Do we know DJ Octavio's whole name? Now that I'm thinking of it. Oh, also, in case you guys are curious about why DJ Octavio is the way he is, and never transforms into, like, a kid form. Like, because even Captain Cuttlefish is an old man. In case you guys are curious, it's because something was an old war injury. Prevents DJ Octavio from transforming into a person.
Body bang.
He's actually stuck in Octoling form. Which means that those giant robots we keep beating up of his, mobility aids. They're just really cool wheelchairs. Is that why he's so grumpy? Presumably. I assume that being as large as a Kraken transformation, but still being in in swim form must be awful and presumably painful. All right, we hydrate as chat demands. Okay, and for body breaks, some arm circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Very good, sir. My name is Shelley DeKiller, and I am a professional assassin. I say! What's going on here?
I hope he doesn't waste the wasabi he uses when he's mixing. I don't think he does. Wasabi Squad knows what to do with it.
Your Honor? Well, how can you remain so calm? And what is the meaning of this two-way radio? Well, actually, Your Honor, it was delivered to me just now, and it came with a condition. As long as we do not trace its source, Mr. DeKiller will testify to this court.
So this must be what that urgent phone call he got earlier was about.
Oh no, this will not do. I cannot allow this in my court. First of all, we can't even be sure this is the real Mr. DeKiller himself. Witness, please present some sort of proof that you are in fact Shelley DeKiller. I understand. Please wait for a second.
I'm so hungry. Maya! Maya!
A voice! Mr. Wright, can you confirm anything from this?
The defense has no objections to this person. We're satisfied that this man is indeed Shelley DeKiller.
It looks like we've run into yet another unexpected turn of events!
I can't believe we're doing this. I can't believe we're doing this. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, this is fine and normal.
Well, it doesn't seem like we have too many choices under these circumstances, so... Now then, witness. There's one thing I would like to confirm before we speak of anything else. And what would that be? At the request of a client, you killed Mr. Wong Kurita. Is this correct? It is as you say. I did indeed kill Mr. Kurita.
Well,
Now that we have answered that, let's move on to the name of your client. Very well. Well, this is all just a bad dream. Yes, that's it, a bad dream.
Shelley DeKiller. What's he going to say?
There is something I must first state. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself. And that is the reason I am here today on this witness stand. It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give you the name of my client. Mr. DeKiller seems to be a very clever man. I'd almost say he seems to be mocking us. While he may appear to be our enemy, Your Honor, Mr. DeKiller is only stating the truth. He is no hypocrite. He has always stood by this one belief. You mean about this trust between his clients and himself thing? It seems to be a level of trust beyond what people like me can comprehend. Well, Mr. Wright, are you ready to cross-examine the witness?
Yes, Your Honor. There's no way to know what's coming next, so stay cool and collected, Phoenix. Okay. Tell me about it. The trust between you and your client?
I provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity. If too many people knew my face, it would be quite troublesome. Well, this is why you're testifying in this manner? This is the first time one of my clients has ever been accused of murder. I must preserve the DeKiller name so my clients can trust me.
But couldn't someone stab you in the back and break your trust?
It has never happened before, but if it ever did,
Yes?
that person wouldn't be my client for very long. They would certainly...
That's enough!
Please, no more!
Very well. It was only a hypothetical anyway.
And that is the reason I am here today on this witness stand.
Well, that seems a little strange to me. I mean, you're about to tell us the name of your client. I would think that this would be very bad for them. Oh, it doesn't matter to me. This client has already broken the rules and acted outside of their prescribed role.
Their role?
This person tried to implicate another of the crime in order to save themselves. And this is a trespass that cannot be forgiven.
You... Who gave you the right to be so high and mighty?
To the gentleman who spoke just now, excuse me, but would you care to die?
No, I didn't say anything.
The judge! The judge had better watch himself. Is this one of those ones where I had to press a second time? Because the first and last statements don't seem to matter. I don't remember this case very well. Ah, heck it. This is just gonna be the same. Yeah. Oh wait, hold on. I'm sorry, but I was wondering about something you just said. You said that your client had already broken the rules. A person who frames another is the worst kind of human. And that's why you feel you can betray this person? I have no trust relation with a client who can't understand their assigned role. Just my luck. An assassin with a conscience. If it would have figured. Now then, everyone, do you think you can understand my logic? This case just keeps getting better and better. If you can't, then I'm afraid we can't proceed. Everyone understands your point, I think. Really. In that case, I believe I'm prepared to disclose the information you seek. You have made it crystal clear that you value trust over all else. I believe we are ready. Excellent. And that is the reason I am here today on this witness stand. Now then, I do believe it's about time I revealed the name of my client, don't you agree? Oh, the last statement changed! Right! Okay, I'm remembering! We're gonna press here, and then he's gonna tell us it's Adrian. I think. Is how this went. And we were like, excuse me, what? Yeah, okay.
What is it?
Now I can't bring myself to ask the client's name. If you can't ask it, Mr. Wright, then I will. Witness. What is the name of your client who requested the murder of Wong Kurita? Oh, that person's name is... Adrian Andrews. What? Witness! That's not who you told me it was earlier. Pray tell, what are you talking about, Mr. Prosecutor? I should think I know my own client, and it is Adrian Andrews.
What?
Ah, delightful. This can't be. On the phone earlier. What's going on here? My guess is that Mr. the Killer just stabbed Mr. Edgeworth in the back. Stabbed Edgeworth in the back? I'm sure in order to get an audience with the court, Mr. the Killer told him a different name. Mad on guard, perhaps. I knew it. This is outrageous! I was deceived! The witness is telling a very serious lie.
But you were the one who summoned this witness!
Shelley the Killer! My testimony is the truth. The defendant at the moment is mad on guard, am I correct? All I wish to do is help procure his acquittal. Wow. All of a sudden, it feels like we can actually win this.
Yeah.
But I don't want to!
prosecution has failed to provide a motive and has instead provided the suicide note, which is a forgery created by the victim. Furthermore, there is the possibility the defendant himself knew it was a fake. But most definitive of all, we have heard from the assassin himself the name of his client. Mr. DeKiller's client who requested the murder was not the defendant at all. No. With all this evidence, it is obvious to me that this means that Mr. Matt Encard is innocent. I seem to have caused you all a bit of confusion. Please continue your discussion and call me when you have reached a verdict. Bailiff, please bring Miss Adrian Andrews in immediately.
What now? With the way this is going on, Encard will be found innocent. This may be our last chance to save Maya. Yeah, but Edgeworth is right. The killer is lying. And Encard, my client, I know he's guilty. Can I live with myself if I win this? No.
Who would have believed that the prosecution's own witness would absolve the defendant?
Your Honor, the prosecution requests permission to further question the witness. Shelley DeKiller is certainly lying under oath.
It wasn't
me! Listen, everyone, please! That testimony just now, it was all one big lie. Miss Andrews? The suicide note may have been a fake, but that man, Matt, he's the reason Celeste died. And Juan's death, it was all because he got pulled into Matt's twisted world. That testimony just now, you have to believe me, it was a horrible, horrible lie.
But Mr. DeKiller himself has testified. He has named you as his client.
No, that's not true.
Also, there's quite a bit of evidence that points to you. The knife and button donning the Nickel Samurai's costume.
But that's...
You even have a motive. We know that Miss Celeste Impax was a large part of your life. You wanted to follow her, and you wanted revenge against the two who hurt her. I would say you have plenty of reasons to want them both dead.
No. Mr. Wright. You know the truth. Tell them. Tell them the real story, who the real killer is. Tell them. Please, help me. Yes, I know the truth.
Mr. Wright!
Yes, Your Honor?
I believe we may have reached the end of this trial. Therefore, I ask the defense for any final words or opinions.
I have to decide. Do I take the not guilty verdict and save Maya? Or do I throw this chance away and wait for Gumshoe's new evidence? What am I supposed to do? Trial continue! Phoenix. I can't do it, Mia. I can't accept a not guilty. You are a lawyer. I know. But Matt Encard is a killer, a murderer. I can't let him get away with this. I can't let someone else take the fall. If I let Miss Andrews be convicted, then I'm no better than Encard. And even though I don't want to admit it, I have to face the fact that it is because of Edgeworth that I now know the real truth. He could have gotten Encard convicted so many times over, but he never took a single one of those chances. If I take this verdict right now, I'd be betraying his trust. His trust? I never thought about it until now. I trust him? Oh no! Phoenix! Phoenix, are you being burdened with unnecessary feelings? Is this your guys' weird way of flirting? Unnecessary feelings intensifies! Yes! Yes, you do. They trust each other implicitly, and I love this. I love that they trust each other implicitly and unconditionally. It's so cute. It's so precious. Why can't they get married?
Mr. Wright, your opinion, please.
The defense requests that we be allowed to further question Mr. DeKiller.
Am I hearing you correctly, Mr. Wright?
Right?
But, that witness has cleared your client through his testimony. Your job here is done.
I'm not done yet. To see through this witness's lies and find the truth. That is my job, Your Honor.
there's still more evidence to look at. And I'm sure that once those pieces arrive here in this very courtroom, a miracle will occur.
Very well, the trial will continue. Mr. Edgeworth, please re-establish connection with Mr. DeKiller.
Right away, Your Honor. Has a verdict been reached? Before that, we would like to talk with you a little more. About? All you needed from me was the name of my client. What else could you need me for? Well, actually, we'd like to hear everything you know about this case. That is how things are, usually done. What is he talking about, usually done?
But what shall we have him testify about now?
Mr. DeKiller, if you don't mind, please testify about your client in more detail.
You legal people and your procedures. Is it any wonder no one likes to go to court?
No one likes to go to court because it's scary.
As I've already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However, one thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of a crime. My client did it to frame another for the crime, while pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene. Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Wong Kurita was dead. But even more appalling is the creation and planting of the knife and button. That act is what I was referring to when I said the client had broken the rules.
This is a most unexpected turn of events for the, 5th time now.
Not that one, Radio. Heh.
However, this time everything has finally been revealed.
Just a second, Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth?
We still have the cross-examination to do.
But you don't need to question testimony like this. Do you, Mr. Wright?
Your Honor, the defense will question the witness. As if I have a choice here.
Huh? Why? What this witness has said is nothing but beneficial to the defense's case. If you scrutinize the testimony, then
I'll expose the lies in that oh-so-beneficial testimony, I suppose.
I don't understand what's going on anymore.
Well, that makes two of us. Quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. Yeah. Okay. To frame another for... Yeah, that's true still. That's true, too. That's not true! Okay, so here's the thing. This isn't true. We know it's not true because remember, she poured that wine glass. Why doesn't it... it only says her fingerprints are on it. Oh, maybe it's one of those things that I can just present. Because I don't want to present it if I'm just like, here's a glass she poured, and he's going to be like, yeah, and? Let's see if he's got anything to help clue me in. From the very beginning? That is correct. From before my client visited the room. All of my clients know precisely what the situation is at all times. I wonder if that's really true. That's odd. But even more appalling is the creation and planting of the knife and button. Well, maybe I do need to present it.
Objection!
Thank you so much for taking the time to testify, Mr. DeKiller. What is the meaning of that attitude? When Adrian Andrews entered the victim's room, Your client had no idea that Juan Carita had been murdered.
But how? How do you know that?
From this wine glass, Your Honor.
The glass?
Mr. DeKiller's supposed client, through Mr. Carita, has only fainted. Thought Mr. Carita had only fainted, which is why this glass of tomato juice was poured for the victim.
But isn't that just a part of Adrian Andrews' calculated plan?
That is not possible, Your Honor. This glass bears the fingerprints of that person. Had this been planned, they would never have left their fingerprints behind.
I see your point. Mr. Edgeworth, what's your opinion?
Strangely enough, I had the same exact thought just now. Witness, how do you explain this strange phenomenon? Isn't that a waste of time to ask about such a minor detail? That's not a very important point anyway, correct? Or Adrian could have been stupid enough to leave prints. Adrian Andrews is a lot of things, but stupid enough to leave prints is not one of them. She actually wiped her prints from a different piece of evidence, which is the guitar case. She opened that up to put on the Nickel Samurai costume that was in there. I'm afraid you're mistaken. If Adrian Andrews really is your client as you claim, then your client should have knowledge of Mr. Carita's death. If not, then that can only mean that Adrian Andrews was never your client at all. Hi, Edgeworth. How strange.
Yes?
Why is it that the attorney has yet to raise an objection at this absurd situation? Phoenix, if the killer figures out what we're up to, we're in real trouble. Yeah, I know.
Objection!
Mr. Edgeworth, I'm surprised! You know you can't say things like that without any evidence. Ah, sorry.
That sounded like an awfully weak objection to me.
Anyway, I'm positive there was a contradiction in that testimony. The prosecution requests further testimony concerning when the request was taken.
Very well.
Whoops, wrong one. Very well. Right now, I have to buy us more time. While we wait for the items the killer left behind to get here, I just know that the very outcome of this trial lies with those items. They could be anything! Oh boy, this cross-examination is long. We're gonna be here for 600 years examining a radio. I guess at least it's not a parrot. We did that last game. This request came to me, about a week ago. It was a request for my services on the night of the awards ceremony. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. And that is what occurred. I trust my memory, and I believe I have made no mistakes. Okay.
So you physically met your client, huh?
That is correct. Meeting one's client is the first step to building trust, in my opinion.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
This request came to me, about a week ago. It was a request for my services on the night of the awards ceremony. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. Really? Tell us more. Tell me more! So you physically met Adrian Andrews, right? Well, of course I did. What was that? What was that brief pause? Witness, I'd like for you to give us a few more details. I always meet my clients as a matter of principle. I have never taken a request by telephone or mail. And why is that? That's because I value the trust between a client and myself above all else.
And the only way to establish that is to speak to the client while looking them in the eye. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance?
No. That's not what we're looking for.
I don't think it was. Why he meets his clients is not important, and that wasn't the point. Witness, please stop sidestepping my questions. What do you mean by that? My question was, did you really meet Adrian Andrews in person? I've already told you, Mr. Wright, I did. It was only through talking with him face to face that I began to trust him.
Adrian Andrews is a woman. Like I don't know what she gets up to in her spare time, but I don't know if it was that kind of bar. I could dress in drag. I'm blue already, and I don't even have cartoon eyelashes. So all I'd have to do really is take off my glasses and pretend to be a boy octopus. Humans can't tell the difference. And they're like, blue thing is boy. Yes. I could do it. Bowie did it, so can you. Oh, David Bowie's great. Ziggy Stardust. I could do it. I can't actually take off my glasses, though. They're on there pretty good. Staff helps me fasten them on so that I can see. I need them to be able to see. It's important. Wah. Anyway, right, back to this.
That's when I thought, I can trust this person as a client. It's true what they say about talking face to face. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance?
It was very important.
If I heard what I think I heard just now, then I think I've got him. Your Honor, I believe the testimony just now was of the utmost importance. Huh? Really? If that's the case, witness, please include the statement just now in your testimony. Very well. From the moment I saw him, I thought I can trust this person as a client.
Let me present Adrian. Miss Andrews, let's go.
I'd like to go over this one more time. You met Adrian Andrews at a bar and took the request at that time. Yes, that is correct. And that's when you thought he was trustworthy? How many times must I repeat myself? Yes, that is correct.
Do you have different style of glasses? Sort of. I did for a while, but these ones are my favorite and I don't wear anything else. And I haven't gotten any new ones lately. And as on account of because I have octopus eyes, contacts are really hard to come by. So I just wear these ones all the time because I like them best. I can get other glasses, but aquarium staff is like, you like those ones the best. If we get you other glasses, you'll wear them once and then not again, and they're right. I'll do it. Someday, if I can figure out a way to wear these that's not so firmly attached to me, so that I can't so that they don't fall off when I move around, then maybe I will get other more fun glasses. But right now, these are the only pair I have. They're very small because I'm 4 centimeters big, so they have to be made a special. There, so that I can see above water. Because underwater refracts light differently. Oh yeah, right, we're getting to our Perry Mason moment. We have a lot of these.
I'm sorry, but that's an impossible tale. What? Shelley the Killer.
You've never met the real Adrian Andrews.
Why would you say that?
Because you made one very big slip-up. About her.
So what is the issue?
What did you say just now?
About her?
If you'd ever met Adrian Andrews in person, one look would have told you that she's a woman.
Ooh!
I love that the radio explodes.
Order! Order in the court! Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this?
This witness testified to the following, that he always meets face-to-face with his clients when taking their request.
Oh, but he's never met Adrian Andrews in person.
Yes, Your Honor. That's exactly the point. That means Mr. DeKiller's client would not have been Miss Adrian Andrews.
Aha! He's sweating oil. The radio is sweating big globs of oil. Why does the radio have this much oil in it? Radios don't typically have... How is this happening?
I did not know octopus get that small.
They do. There are even smaller octopi than me. And a baby octopus starts out at less than a centimeter. Some very small species can even be almost microscopic. The smallest octopus on record is something like... The smallest full-grown octopus on record is something like 3 or 4 centimeters tall. And the smallest Grimpoteusus, which is what I'm, a Dumbo octopus or an umbrella octopus, depending on where you live. The smallest one of those is approximately about that big. About 3 to 4 centimeters. The biggest octopi, the biggest Dumbo octopus, is as tall as a person. They're called the Emperor Dumbo octopus, and they're like 6 feet tall. Well, maybe 5.5 or 6, it's hard to measure. But they're really big! They're so big! I want to grow up to be that big someday. I want to grow up to be that big, and then waltz onto land and be like, in a little trench coat, and be like, hello, yes, I am here to do human things. Like a human. With human things. I'm here to do human stuff, yep. Definitely. And it would be really cool. I could do human stuff if I was that tall. But staff says I'll probably never get that tall. And that makes me sad. Octopi can be so small. I'm an octopus. I'm a lot of things.
Right.
We were doing the thing.
Mr. Edgeworth, I understand your logic on this one. However, why would the assassin make such a basic mistake?
I believe it has to do with her name, Your Honor.
Her name?
Yes, Adrian Andrews is, without a doubt, a very androgynous name.
Yes, I see.
Unluckily for Mr. DeKiller, the entire time he was on the stand, no one had stated Adrian Andrews' gender. And so, he simply picked the wrong gender to go with.
What? What is going on? Shelley DeKiller, this court demands an explanation.
But being an octopus is a lot more fun. I would like to explore myself, so one day we can trade for about 3 hours. Yeah. Being an octopus is great. Oh, I borrow cool stuff all the time. For things. Like having hands. It's important. You gotta have hands sometimes. You just gotta. Like if you're teaching Chad how to crochet. Which I will one day do more of, but I got tired of it really fast. Doing it on stream, I mean. Oh. It's hard to keep the camera in place and show you guys what I'm doing. I need a better setup if I'm going to do that more often. But we'll do it next year for the holidays, as I do.
I think I somehow must have mixed up this client with another. So does that mean you remember something different now? Yes, of course. Please, if you would allow me to testify once more. I know he's just going to spit out more lies.
Very well, but this time please give us the truth and nothing but the truth. Yes, now I remember. I took that request by mail. There have been times when I took a job without having met my client. The request was for the murder of Mr. Wong Kurita and 2 or 3 other small things. When I saw the name at the end of the letter, I thought my client to be a man.
I want to know what those 2 or 3 other small things are.
So, you took this job through a letter?
Oh, what did you crochet? And I want to see how to do it myself. Crocheting's really easy. Once you get the hang of it. The VODs are all up on YouTube if you want to see what I made. I made a snowman, and I made some Winnie the Pooh things for my sister. The snowman is amigurumi. It might be a little tricky to see on camera what I was doing. Also, over on YouTube, I did shoot the basics of how crochet, though, as best I could. Those videos are a little older, but they're in a playlist. I tried to use bigger yarn so that you guys could see what I was doing. Oh, we've also made a bunny before on stream. We made a great big bunny because I was having fun crocheting. And, oh, we made a pair of slippers as well because it took me like an hour to make them. Well, an hour and a half, but it's because I stopped to talk to chat regularly. And then forgot to actually move the hands I was borrowing. Those did not take long, but we did play Yarn Chicken with them. Also, in case anyone's curious, my mom did like the slippers. Oh, can you post a link to your YouTube? Yes, probably, maybe. I'll need... Wow. Da, 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 da. Let's see. You guys might hear my thing go off. Get out of here. I don't think it autoplays. Wait. This only needs to be on the Twitch side. There you go. Oh yeah, you're right. Val's good at this. My mod knows what's what. You can also just type socials. I know. I could have just hit exclamation point socials. It's in there. But this is easier. It's one whole click. Click.
So you took this job through a letter.
He didn't mention anything about a letter in his earlier testimony, which means he is definitely lying. Be careful, Phoenix. If you break the assassin's testimony completely, it's over for us. I know. I can't make him suspicious, but I think we're okay. Like, we can do this. As long as he's standing there across from me. No matter how strong of a punch I throw, he'll counter it.
Now then, let's begin the cross-examination. Yes, now I remember. I took that request by mail. There have been times when I took a job without having met my client. The request was for the murder of Wong Kurita and 2 or 3 other small things.
I want to know what they were. Tell us. Tell us.
2 or 3 other things? Yes.
And what were these other things?
A few other things that have nothing to do with this case. What should I do?
Welcome back, Sir B.
Should I let him slide with that? It'd be really bad if I push his buttons and get, the wrong way and get mad.
Press further, I must know.
Whether or not they're related to this case is for the court to decide. Mr. Attorney. Yes? Everything I've said from the beginning has been nothing but beneficial to your client, which is why I wonder what is pushing you to continue with this cross-examination. Could it be that you are planning to betray your own client?
Look how mad he is. Steam's coming out of there.
What kind of radio is this that it's leaking oil and steam? That's... I smell the stench of a backstabber. And should you turn out to be one... Wait! Uh-oh. This is looking really bad. I shouldn't press my luck. Alright, I have to think. Is this worth pursuing?
No, heck it, we'll do it. We're already here. This isn't Danganronpa. This isn't Danganronpa, you compress. Okay. Check the batteries! The radio's tweaking. Also, somehow floor 1 and 2 I got Goob and Tisha, and why is Captain Tartar here? Oh, he's testifying. He's an assassin. Witness, this is a very important matter. Please cooperate and tell us what these other jobs your client requested were.
Well, if it's truly that important, I suppose I don't have much of a choice. The bear figurine.
The bear figurine?
After the assassination of the target, I was to find that figurine. I was told that this job was just as important as the actual killing.
And where was that figurine?
Well, it was inside Mr. Kurita's suitcase.
And then, what did you do next?
I handed it over to my client right away.
You gave it to your client. Interesting.
This information certainly sounds important to me. Witness, please include what you stated in your testimony. As you wish. One of these was to find the bear figurine and give it to Adrian Andrews.
Wait. No, that was in Engarde's house. I found this figurine at Mr. Engarde's mansion. If you gave it to Miss Andrews, then what was it doing there?
I was waiting for her there. That was also part of the plan to frame Mr. Engarde, I'm sure. That makes a lot of sense. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any problems with this piece of testimony?
Wait a minute. No, I have an objection.
So the killer says he gave the figurine to Miss Andrews, but I know somewhere in the statement there's a contradiction. And yet, I know that if I present something trivial here, he will cut the connection on his end. If you want to make a strong point, Phoenix, you have to present strong evidence.
Well, Adrian would have...
She's right. So now what, Doctor, right?
So can Mia just read minds, or... Mia is a spirit. She's dead. She is possessing Pearl Faye right now. Her little cousin. Yeah. She's, that's why she's dressed like that, because she's still wearing Pearl's clothes. Mia is a spirit. She died in the first game. In, like, the second case, I think, or third. She used to be our lawyer boss, though. Oh, this series is wild. The whole first part of this game is us solving a succession crisis in a family of spirit mediums. That family of spirit mediums, actually. If the cross-examination with the radio didn't tell you so. Listen, the first game had us cross-examine a parrot. Straight up a bird. And we did. Witness, let's go over this one more time. You gave Miss Andrews the bear figurine. And she told you to take the bear and wait for her at Engarde Mansion. Is that correct?
Yes. Where are you going with this?
Well, I think maybe you might have remembered a few things incorrectly.
What?
This is a battle of wits. I can't let up on him. I don't think it is possible for Miss Andrews to have been the recipient of this bear. Oh, because it's a puzzle box. She wanted to burn that suicide note, so she would have just chucked it in the fire. Right? Shelly to Killer. If you had really given the bear to Miss Andrews, then this item should not have been inside it. Oh, and the updated autopsy report. Mr. Edgeworth updated an autopsy report on us once.
This item?
I see where you're going.
Yep, that's where I'm going.
Where is everyone going? Do I need to pack a suitcase?
Your Honor, please think back to Ms. Andrews' testimony. What's next? A murder at a movie theater? I think there actually is one. I'm pretty sure there is one. There's a murder at the circus. There's this one. Investigations has a murder in a haunted house. There's a list. And I was gonna burn it for her sake. I think there is a murder at a pastry shop in the second Investigations game, but I've never played it. Ah, the murder on the airplane, you're right. Edgeworth get mixed up in all sorts of murders. How many times has this man been accused of murder? People are gonna start thinking poorly of him. If even for a single minute, this bear had actually been in Miss Andrews' hands, I'm sure she would have taken the suicide note out and burned it. A real lawyer reacted to the updated autopsy line with absolute confusion and disdain. I loved it so. I love watching real lawyers react to this kind of thing. I've absolutely seen the Legal Eagle reaction to Phoenix Wright. And also the Legal Eagle, like, when he teamed up with a lawyer from Japan and to, like, because the American law system is very different, and this is obviously the Japanese law system. And it's really funny. Like, I love it. I love the whole... No, that badge is real. See, even I have one. That's a real thing that lawyers get in Japan. Like, it made it so much better, because the original reaction is really American-centric. And so, like, it doesn't make a lot of sense, because the things he's reacting to and being annoyed about are things that the Japanese legal system actually has. So I'm like, yeah, of course lawyers are issued a badge. It's Japan. Lawyers have badges. That's how you know that they're lawyers. They got little scales in there. It's cute. It's a fun little pin.
Order, order, order! So, that's where you two were going. So, by the very fact that the suicide note was still inside the bear, it tells us your client didn't know how to disassemble the puzzle.
Blah. I forgot how to words for a second.
Which means?
It means, Your Honor, that it is impossible for Adrian Andrews to be the client.
Ooh-hoo! Order! Order! Order!
Mr. Phoenix Wright!
I'm sure I mentioned this before. How I hate traitors above all else! I think your cross-examination has clearly demonstrated something to me. You must wish to break your end of our agreement.
No, that's not.
That's enough. If that is your intention, then there's only one thing for me to do.
Wait, please!
Gentlemen, ladies, please excuse me. I have a matter that I must attend to.
No, please! Not that. Please wait.
Mr. Attorney, bring this trial to a speedy end and I may stay my hand. Otherwise... What in the... Mr. Wright, are you... Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor.
I didn't understand this witness's outburst just now. Do you think there's a need to hear more testimony, or is this enough?
Well, we should. Edgeworth, we can't do this. If we keep this up, Maya, she'll...
The prosecution... What has come over everyone? Even you are...
The prosecution... rests.
What's going on around here?
The prosecution has no further questions, Your Honor.
What? Well, I never thought I'd see the day. This is a most unusual situation. If the prosecution rests with no further questions, then the prosecution has failed to uphold its stance. If that's the case, then even though I'm reluctant, I must believe that Mr. DeKiller's testimony is accurate. That would mean that Shelley DeKiller's client is Adrian Andrews. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? If I end the trial here, right now, then your client, Madame Garde, would be declared innocent. And in his place, Adrian Andrews would be charged with murder. Ms. Andrews? Would be charged with murder? The prosecution has no further questions, so we will now hear the defense's final remarks. Bailiff, please bring the defendant, Madame Garde, to the stand. The items from DeKiller's hideout didn't make it in time. We tried as hard as we could, but it looks like our time has run out. I can't believe it. The outcome now lies in your hands.
Dude, did the old guy finally decide?
To be honest, I can't think of you as a truly innocent and good person. You've done enough evil to drive a woman to suicide. But, at least on the charge of murder, it would appear you are innocent.
Huh. So, I guess even the old fuddy-duddy figured me out.
Mr. On guard!
You were atrocious as a lawyer, weren't you? Giving your client away like this? That refreshing like a spring breeze crap? It's just as atrocious, don't you agree? Anyway, get on with it and pronounce me innocent already. Right, Mr. Lawyer? Should I side with justice or should I save Maya's life? You'd better get on guard a guilty sentence, okay? But if I did that, Maya would... But if I say he's innocent, then Miss Andrews will also be charged as the murderer. Do I say he's guilty or not guilty? Either choice I make, someone's life is going to end. Well, we might as well side with justice then. It all hinges on what I choose. Yeah, I'm good for it.
Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statements on this matter. If the person who hired the assassin was Adrian Andrews, then your client, Mr. Madame Garde, is innocent.
Madame Garde and his chalky milk? There's no need to ask, old man. After all, my lawyer is going to say what I want, aren't you?
Right.
I can't do this. But I have to decide something. I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. My client, Madame Garde, is... He's guilty as heck!
We are waiting for your answer, Mr. Wright. Madame Garde, your client deserves an answer.
Maya, I'm sorry. He's obviously the bad man.
Objection!
Hey, it's Franziska! Franziska von Karma? Yay, Franziska! Why does that guy look like a Pokemon Evil team leader? He totally does! You're right! Yippee! Ha! Franziska come to save the day!
What are you doing? Ow!
I done been bonked! Ow! I'm glad she's here! You see now, don't you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? This is exactly why you should never take your eyes off of that scruffy fool.
Did you bring them? The final pieces. Do you have them?
You should know better than to ask that, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. Von Karma is perfect in every way. The evidence is here in this perfect condition. Don't worry about Scruffy. He's fine, and his injuries are minor. All of the items are inside this.
What a filthy old coat this is.
That's Gumshoes. I can spot his tattered rags anywhere. I apologize for its ugliness, but there was nothing else to wrap these items in. I fought long and hard this whole trial, all for what is inside that raggedy coat. I'm sure that inside that coat lies the crucial piece of evidence. We love perfect timing! It's an old egg sandwich! Maybe it's got bacteria inside that'll form a whole society and fix up my brain. Your Honor, inside that filthy coat are the defense's final pieces of evidence.
Your final evidence?
Ooh. I'm also glad to see her. This is weird because it's Francisca. I'm not usually glad to see her except in the Edgeworth game. Alright, we hydrate as chat demands.
Body break.
And a big stretch. Big stretch. And do. What do we do? Let's do some bicep curls. Oil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
This trial is already over. All that remains for me is for me to hand down my verdict. I do not believe that any evidence presented now would change the outcome of this trial.
What? Your Honor, it's our duty to examine every piece of evidence, down to the last. I request that Miss Von Karma be allowed to present these pieces of evidence.
I suppose you are right, Mr. Edgeworth. I grant permission to do so. However, this one obvious rule applies here. If these items do not bring up any new points, then they will not be accepted by this court. Now, Miss Von Karma, if you please.
These pieces of evidence are all items left by the killer during his escape from the police.
He must have been in quite a rush.
Yes, Your Honor. The killer left 3 pieces of evidence. Somewhere among the evidence we're about to see, there will be something that will turn this whole situation around. Like a miracle. I'm sure of it. That's all we can hope for. Get your popcorn, chat! The first item is a pistol. Does the killer's pistol have anything to do with this case? I don't know if it does. Let's go. Does that pistol have any relation to this case? We have yet to perform a ballistics test, so I can't say anything for certain. However, I believe it has to do with this case, at least to me. That's the pistol that he used to shoot you, isn't it? That is what I believe, yes. Oh. I kept the bullets they removed from my shoulder as a sort of memento. I'm sure it will be an excellent sample for the test. Ah, unlike your father, you got the bullet removed. Good work. So that's the pistol that was used to shoot Francisca. It's probably not going to help us very much. But it's here. The second piece of evidence is this videotape. I bet the killer took that from On Guard Mansion. Have you checked the contents of the tape? Unfortunately, there was no time to. Oh yeah. But I've been speculating since this tape is very important.
Why would you say that?
Because he came back to his hideout for it. The killer went back for it? That's right. It looks like he was trying to recover it. He injured three of the officers on the site. But, somehow, it looks like they managed to protect it from the killer. Shelly the Killer is no ordinary man. For Von Karma's neutral special, she wields a gun. For Von Karma's Super Smash, she whips every single player with no fail and will instantly knock them out or get eliminated. Yes! You know what? So they put Phoenix into Marvel vs. Capcom. They should have put Francisca. She actually has a weapon. The last piece of evidence is his bellboy's uniform. Is that a uniform from the Gatewater Hotel? Was that used during the crime? I'm almost certain that it was. There's even a pair of black leather gloves in one of the pockets. There's no doubt about it. The killer was wearing this on the night of the murder. There is one thing I found interesting about this uniform. And what is that? There is a button missing on this uniform. A button? It's a very unique button. I'm sure if we were able to recover it, it would provide us with an interesting clue. Oh no, I done been bang! Ah! That is all I have to present, Your Honor.
Just as I thought.
And? What is that, Your Honor?
Well, I'm sure you were... were we under normal circumstances, these items from Shelly the Killer's hideout would be very important clues. However, our question is not who did the killing.
It is, who is the client?
Yes, that is correct. And these three items do not tell us anything about that. Thank you for your hard work, Miss Von Karma. You may step down now.
Wait, Your Honor! Please allow me to examine this new evidence.
Overruled! This court already has all the evidence it needs to hand down a verdict.
Wonderful. Absolutely splendid. This judge is such a brilliant man, isn't he?
Is this the end?
Phoenix. I knew it. There's no such thing as a miracle in this world, is there? I think you're wrong. I think they do exist. But you have to make that miracle happen. You've come this far, you can't give up now. But, no matter how you think about it, try. For my sake. Just think about it for a second. There are two ways out of this situation for us. Two? The first... I would look at the time, but I'm really enjoying this Perry Mason thing. Make On Guard wish from the bottom of his soul for a guilty verdict. Huh? The killer will always place his client's wishes first. If On Guard himself wishes to be convicted, then he'll let his hostage go. That may be true, but that's asking me to do the impossible. The second way. Force the killer to end his contract with On Guard. If the killer were to no longer think of On Guard as his client, then he'd let Maya go. Yeah, that's even more impossible. He's a man who values his duty towards his clients above all else. I'm back! I was gambling as Gigi! Yeah! Listen, sometimes I call Gigi a Tupperware. I understand she's a gotcha capsule, but sometimes I call her a Tupperware because she looks kind of like one. I know both of these seem like impossible feats at first. But if you could make either one happen, it would truly be a miracle. Well, the bigger problem is, the judge has already said he doesn't need any more evidence. The pieces he was just shown, he's not accepting them. Phoenix, think things through from the other side. Isn't that what has always worked for us?
The other side. Wait, does she mean... You mean... to turn things around? It's time for a turnabout, y'all! Phoenix, the judge says he doesn't need the evidence. If that's the case, then who does need it? The person who needs the evidence. The defense, the prosecution, and the judge. We've all seen the pieces of evidence. Oh boy. Okay. The defense, prosecution, and the judge, we've all seen the pieces of evidence. And that's how we have come to know the truth. But there are people who have not seen them all. And those people do not know the truth. Who's she talking about? The truth, it may be what will bring about a miracle in the end.
There are no objections this time, correct? Now then, I will pronounce my verdict.
No, you won't! Why don't we all respectfully sit back and listen, kids? Matt's so mad.
I've already told you, Mr. Wright. This court does not need any more evidence.
I'm not saying it is us that needs the evidence, Your Honor.
Then, you want to show the evidence to that person?
The killer! Guys, if that videotape, right? That videotape is a tape of the killer killing. He doesn't want people to know he's an assassin. So if Matt has a tape of him killing somebody, like he already said he tells his client when he does the thing, right? So why would Matt need to tape him? Why would he need that? He even came back for the tape. We literally just heard that. I think that's what we need to do. I think that's where we're going. Yes, Your Honor. Please, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, for you to ask with such passion, I will grant you one chance.
Oh, one chance?
Please show your evidence to who you think is the right person.
That's impossible. To turn this situation around in one try? Yeah, we're just gonna finish this case. This is it. I know this is it. I can feel it in my little pneumatic bones.
One try. That's all I will permit.
I have to try to remember everything that has happened up to this point. Think, Phoenix, think. There must be a way to save Maya while taking On Guard down at the same time. There is! Then, Mr. Wright, let's not waste any more time.
Who would you like to show the evidence to?
Okay, chat, if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But, like, I'm sure. I think we've got it. I think we've got it this time. Oh, Shelly the killer.
I see. And now, tell this court what one piece of evidence you'd like to show this person.
Oh, only one? Well, I guess it is the videotape then.
Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth?
I think there's some merit in showing this evidence to the witness. I'm worried that... Oh, well, all right, we're going somewhere.
Bailiff, please bring in the transceiver from earlier.
All right, it looks like they got a hold of him. Okay. I don't... Maya, she's okay, right?
Oh, didn't I tell you to concern yourself with bringing about a speedy end to this trial? Now, if I understand correctly, you wish to show me one piece of evidence.
Yes, one is all I need. I have here a videotape. It was found at your hideout. I heard you injured 3 officers in your attempt to get this back.
Well, that was most regrettable. However, it was an order from my client. I was told to protect that videotape. I thought so. I'm afraid I seem to have failed in that regard.
Do you know the contents of this tape?
I was sternly told by my client not to watch it, so I have absolutely no idea.
Actually, you're on this tape.
Me?
There was a video camera hidden at the crime scene. Your actions were being recorded.
What? Was this true, Mr. Wright? Who was it that planted a camera?
Well, the only person who could have placed a camera at the scene of the crime would be your client, naturally.
That was Adrian Andrews.
Be quiet and listen, Your Honor.
Oh, yes, sir.
Your client specified a place and a time for you, isn't that right?
Yes.
That was so they could film you.
I had no idea. Mr. Wright, why would my client do such a thing? I would like to know why.
Blackmail, probably. Why did Matt on Guard film the crime scene? The reason why he did it is my ticket out of this whole mess. There's only one reason why your client would secretly film the crime scene. Your client once told me something very interesting. We were talking about you, and this is what they said. But I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone. Least of all assassins. Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. Yes, that's where the video comes in. With that, I can keep him at bay, and even blackmail him if I want. I'm sorry you keep rolling gumballs. Good luck on getting a medkit or a band-aid or something. Your client didn't trust you at all. They were thinking of using this video to blackmail you. What do you have to say to that, Shelly the Killer? Whoa! It looks like I was being deceived from the very beginning. Yes, by a natural. This is the kind of person they are. Your client is a person who only thinks and plots of how to use the people around them to protect themselves from any and all dangers that may arise. That is the true nature of your client. I have one question for the witness.
Yes?
You told us one thing numerous times during your testimony. You said that you detest traitors most of all.
Yes, that's right.
But what if this traitor was your own client? What would you do then?
That's obvious. I would break our contract in that case. And then, that client would become my next target. For the honor of the killer name, even if it takes an eternity, I would follow that person to the ends of the earth to exact my punishment.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
I see. That's all I wanted to know. So the traitor becomes the killer's next target? Ah, I get it. This is how we'll turn this case around.
Mr. Wright.
Yes?
My contract with my client is over as of now. I seem to have a new job on my hands. I will now return to you your precious item.
What the? I'm not an item! Beep.
Maya,
I thought I'd never see you again.
oh, thank goodness. This trial appears to have come to its conclusion. However, I'm sort of... I don't quite know what just happened there with the client and the witness and...
Blah!
Miss Von Karma, where did that...
She always has you in her sights. Now, I do believe it's time to finally hand down a verdict. Oh wow, this is the first time we've seen him sweating. Mr. On Guard, it looks like somehow you got what you wanted.
You finally received the acquittal you wanted so badly. You should be happy. But before that, I'd like to make one final statement. Sometime in the near future, one very betrayed assassin may appear before you. Needless to say, that man is very good at what he does. I'm sure you would understand what I mean if you watch this video. Help me! Now then, Your Honor, the verdict, if you please.
Oh, is this all right with you, Mr. Wright?
We've finally reached the end of a very long battle. Whether he's convicted or acquitted, there's no escape for him now. Go on, Phoenix. Plead whichever way your heart tells you. Right, Chief. I guess guilty, like, I don't... Matt on guard. Even though I'm a lawyer, I cannot make your crime disappear. I think a guilty verdict is appropriate here. Me? My wonderful self? Guilty? Even if you got an acquittal the instant you set foot outside the detention center, your life would be in danger. No matter which way you look at it. You can't run away from your crime anymore. Oh, wow! Oh my golly, his face! That was a lot of saying guilty over and over. Is he good? Ha, for someone named On Guard, you aren't very on guard. Yeah, it's true. He's not well. I don't think he's okay.
Well, as always, it looks like we have uncovered the real truth.
We? I don't remember you helping out much in this.
Mr. Edgeworth, how is Matt on guard?
I've left Miss Von Karma with... in charge of his incarceration. I'm sure she's getting a full course meal of... I'm sure he's getting a full course meal of whip leather right about now.
Very good. That was a close one, wasn't it, witness?
Yes. I plan to pay my debt to society for my own crime, Your Honor. This trial was the first time I had stood on the witness stand, and when I did, I really felt hopeless. She must be talking about that time Edgeworth really went after her. I guess she's trying to forgive him for what he did. This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness. If you're going to say you would choose death, that is of no concern to me. But after that, when I was alone at the detention center, that's the first time I really saw myself in who I am. And today, when the two of you used your combined strength to convict Matt, I felt like I had finally been saved. Wow, this is the first time I've ever seen her smile. I'm really happy that you two were in charge of this case. I really don't know how to express how I feel at this moment. This is the first time I felt comfortable with myself, with who I am. Thanks so much, everyone. Oh my god, Samus reference. Lol.
Oh, it looks like we have resolved everything at last. As for myself, there are still a few things I'm confused about. But everyone seems to be in good spirits. And that's good enough for me. That is all. This court is adjourned.
Yay! Good work, everybody!
You were great out there, Phoenix. What I did out there was right, wasn't it? Well, this is the first time you've not gotten your client off. You got them a guilty verdict this time. I'm sorry, Mia, you can't say that. Please, add off the hook or something. Anyway, moving on. But you have to look past all of that to what's really important. You now realize that there's something more than just getting a not guilty, right? Yes, I understand now. Phoenix, think back for a second. Think to the moments before Miss Von Karma arrived with the final pieces of evidence. Think about the incredible decision that you had to make.
Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statements on this matter.
Wait, what? I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart.
Should I side with justice? Or should I save Maya's life? My client, Matt on guard, is he guilty or is he not guilty? Those were your choices then. And your answer spoke to what being a lawyer means to you. I did say guilty. Right. Edgeworth! I have good news. Maya's now safe in police custody.
Really?
Pearls!
You're telling us the truth, right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, she's quite safe. She's on her way here as we speak in a patrol car.
Ah, Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya's safe! You did it! You really did it, Mr. Nick!
Ow, she punches deceptively hard for a kid.
I believed in you. I kept saying to myself, Mr. Nick will save her. Mr. Nick will save her.
Thanks.
Oh! What's wrong? Miss Von Karma.
About earlier. Thanks.
Ow!
Why are you still smiling, Mr. Phoenix Wright? You lost. Your perfect win record has now been crushed. And yet, you're still happy? I don't think you'll ever understand, Ms. Von Karma. How dare you? Don't worry. She may in time. After all, I was like that myself.
Ooh, a fun fact.
Until a year ago.
A fun fact, eh? Oh, I know one.
It doesn't necessarily have to be in rare circumstances, but there are circumstances under which, in a court of law, you can be declared not guilty or guilty, just not. So what happens is, a jury, if they don't believe that the law that they're upholding is right, they can refuse to return a verdict. In that case, you can't be retried for the same thing, but you also aren't declared guilty. It's true that you aren't technically declared innocent either, but basically the jury just says no. It's a thing that can happen very, very rarely. And I think that's neat.
Yeah, jury nullification.
And that's a thing that you can just do. Also, are those bangs on Edgeworth like bones?
Nah, they're just very well moosed, presumably.
Edgeworth? For my own personal victories, and for guilty verdicts. I used every dirty trick in the book, and so my win record remained spotless. But a man appeared and stood fast against that selfish me. I fought him in my usual manner, and tasted my first defeat. They're secretly part of a costume, he super glued them on.
I mean, they might as well be super glue.
He's done them up very high. I felt like I had lost everything because of that. And then it was my turn to sit in the defendant's chair. And I was saved by that person I called my enemy. I couldn't forgive myself for all that had happened, so I left the prosecutor's office. And I left that note. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death.
You see why Phoenix thought he was dead? Just in case anyone was curious. You see?
As well you should have. A prosecutor who has shamed himself with defeat should crawl into a hole and die.
But that was not what happened. After I left the prosecutor's office, I finally came to realize something. And it was in that moment of clarity that everything began to change.
What foolish nonsense?
We prosecutors use anything we can to attack the defendant. But every time we did so, no matter how desperate the situation, instead of giving up like most people, that man would hold strong with his undying faith. And then, before I knew it, I began to trust in that man as well.
They're married. The Phoenix Wright games are secretly a slow burn romance and no one can tell me they're not. What? You trusted your enemy.
It doesn't matter how many underhanded tricks a person uses. The truth will always find a way to make itself known. The only thing we can do is to fight with the knowledge we hold and everything we have. Erasing the paradoxes one by one is never easy. We claw and scratch for every inch. But we will always eventually reach that one single truth. This I promise you.
The truth?
Yes. That's the reason why prosecutors and defense lawyers exist. But I'm sure you knew that already, didn't you, right? That's why you couldn't forgive me. This man who went into hiding. Isn't that right? This man who only had his sights set on victory, who ran away into the night.
Tell that to the insurance claims. Is Mr. Edgeworth right, Mr. Nick?
You really let me down. When you disappeared, I felt betrayed. The reason I decided to become a lawyer to begin with was because I believed in the things you said to me all those years ago. And you betrayed your own words. That's why 1 year ago, I made up my mind. I decided that the Miles Edgeworth I knew had died. At least, that's what I told myself.
You pathetic fool! Miss Von Karma! I don't want to hear the wretched whimpering of a disgraced loser. A Von Karma is someone who is destined to be perfect. Miles Edgeworth! You are no longer worthy. You're no longer worthy of being a Von Karma. And neither am I. It's over. It's all over.
Francisca threw something on the ground just now. This is an electromagnetic receiver. Isn't that the thing she used to track Detective Gumshoe? I'll return it to this precinct. I'll return this to the precinct later. There's something else.
Ah! Isn't that Miss Von Karma's whip?
I'll never set foot in another courtroom again. I'm sure that's what she's saying by this action. You should keep this, right? Okay.
Nick!
Maya!
Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya!
Pearl is so tiny. She's so small. You should keep this, right? I'm more of a masochist! Listen.
Aw, Nick, I knew you'd come through. You got on guard convicted, like I knew you would. And on top of that, you even rescued me.
Well, of course I did. You know I would never desert you. But we sure pressed our luck this trial. You're really lucky to be standing here.
Whatever. Look, it's over, okay? Besides, if I did croak, I'd just come back and haunt you like a bad ghost through Pearly.
Is it really that easy to do something like that?
Thanks a lot, Nick.
Don't mention it. Maya.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth.
I'm relieved you're alright.
Hey, looks like you've made some real progress, Mr. Edgeworth.
Well, I suppose I'm a little different from who I was a year ago.
All right. I think it's time we got out of this depressing place.
Huh? Where are we going?
Food, Nick! Food! Grub! Chow! I'm starved! I'm so hungry even you look like a nice juicy burger on a bun to me, Nick. Ace Attorney Character Development, Edgeworth Edition! We played through that on Sunday. Because him's prabby. Him's prabby. You can't just say that, I know. She said it. She's gonna eat him right up. You think I look like a burger? I'm a prime rib at least. Come with us, Mr. Edgeworth, please.
If you insist.
All right, so how about we hit up our usual burger joint? Don't be silly, Nick. Huh? This case messed up that awesome evening and got in the way of my gourmet food. So I've decided that we have to make this up by having another feast.
Another feast?
Come on, Nick. Food! Free food! Hey, pal. Sorry to keep you guys waiting.
Gumshoe, are you alright?
Yeah, but I'm really embarrassed. I didn't think I'd hit a telephone pole of all things. The extended warranty has almost expired. Oh no! No, Gumshoe's extended warranty did expire, I'm sure. He crashed his car. A telephone pole? Then it wasn't a red light that got him? You did it again, city boy. I felt like my dear old heart was gonna give out on me, and I ain't joking. Yeah, it was more exciting than the very last episode of The Steel Samurai. Thanks? Now look at here, Mr. Snooty Prosecutor. Don't y'all reckon y'all bullied Mr. Wright too hard? If you don't stop being a lot nicer to him, he might just kick it. Tonight even.
I'll keep that in mind.
Well, come on now. Everyone gather round. Y'all are gonna get your picture taken by a genuine professional photographer. Looks like Lotta bought herself a new camera. Well, pal, at least we can put this messy case behind us now. Come on, tonight's all about eating, so let's go chow down, pal. Amen to that, pal. Amen. You know, when you think about it, you were the one who saved the day, Detective. Huh? Me? You really think so?
He's right. If it wasn't for the 3 items you took, I think this trial would have had a very different ending.
Well, you know, it's... Huh? Wait. That's odd. When I ran off with the things from the killer's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things total, sir. What? 4? Yeah, I'm sure I put one of the items in my coat pocket.
There was a 4th item?
Aw, come on, y'all. It's over. But whoo, boy, I tell ya, you really are something else. Between getting accused of murder and getting kidnapped, never a dull moment with you, huh? Please no more! Ha! You think? Why does she look so happy about that? But being shut away for 2 whole days, weren't you scared? Yeah, it was really scary. I felt so hopeless. So, to keep my mind off of things, I drew a picture. Sounds like you had it rough, gal. So, where's this picture of yours? Yeah, I want to see it. I want to see Mystic Maya's picture. You know, I don't know where it went. Aww, that's too bad. Well, it's alright. It wasn't anything important anyway.
Sure is nice to finally see them both smiling again.
I'm willing to bet that's the 4th thing that Gumshoe took.
What is it, Edgeworth? This thing is picking something up.
That's Ms. Von Karma's receiver. Ugh, thanks to her, I had the most awful experience of my life, sir. I can't believe she stuck a tracking device on me.
That's odd. Even though you're standing right here. The tracking device seems to be in a different location.
Oh, it's probably busted or something, sir.
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm afraid it's about time for me to excuse myself. I still have some work to do.
Huh? But Mr. Edgeworth, you haven't even eaten anything yet.
And you've eaten way too much, you glutton.
She's been gone for 2 days! You let her be!
I had fun tonight. Now if you'll excuse me. Wait. What? I just want to say thanks, Edgeworth. You really saved me out there. If anyone should be saying thanks, it should be me, right? I feel like words alone aren't enough here. I wonder if there's anything I can give him to express how I feel.
A kiss! Smooch him! Smooch him!
We'll give him Francisca's whip, though.
Here, a gun!
Nah, we'll give him the whip.
What's this? Thank you. It's all thanks to you two. You and her. You don't need to thank me. I was only doing my job.
It looks like Mr. Edgeworth has left, Mr. Nick. Hey, Mystic Maya!
Yes, Pearly?
I guess you two can go back to being lovey-dovey, right?
Oh, Pearl, honey, you've mistaken who's in love here.
You and Mr. Nick, I mean. Pearly! Would you cut it out already? You're embarrassing me!
Anyway. So, who's paying for this lovely dinner party?
As if you need to ask. Everyone say thank you to Nick!
Huh? Yeah. I'm kinda at the point where I can't even buy instant noodles, pal. So I kinda already put your name on the bill.
Huh? Huh?
Yeah, I got me a situation like that myself. There's this camera shop in this hotel, you see, and I just bought myself this good old beauty here. It better be anyhow for $3,000.
$3,000?
Well, actually, I reckon you bought it for me since it's on your tab and all. Huh?
Isn't this great, Mr. Nick?
Yeah, Nick. Why do I suddenly feel like screaming? Aw, you don't need to hold back now, you hear? Yeah, pal. Time to let it all out.
This is gonna be the first time I hear the real you.
Go on. It's been a while since I heard you say it. I've been busy being a hostage and all. All right, then. If you say so.
Objection! Oh, it won't let me do it. Objection! Ah. I was hoping it would let me do it. The mic isn't very good. It doesn't play well with OBS also. You really came through for me, Nick. I had to hide that letter, but I knew you'd find it. I really feel like I've been living on the edge lately. I mean, I've escaped death 3 times now. Pretty cool, huh? I feel like a pro.
I pronounce you prosecutor and prosecutor. You may now kiss the prosecutor. Ah, yes. I pronounce you prosecution and defense.
I'm so happy for the two of you. Speaking of, I think this hotel is a popular place for honeymooners. So I sort of made reservations for the two of you, just in case.
You are 8 years old, honey. Pearl, stop shipping people. She can't help it. She's a child. Well, pal, it looks like I'm back on the force. Mr. Edgeworth had a long talk with the chief, and he got me reinstated for my sake. I heard he said things like, letting that one go is bad for all of society. I knew it. Crashing headlong into everything is the only way to live, pal. I now pronounce you prosecution and defense. You may now present the evidence. I like that. That'd be such a cute wedding.
I, Maggie Bird, am retiring this uniform as of today, sir. I'm going to be a waitress from now on. And bring smiles and joy to the people who come by the restaurant, sir. I hope you'll stop by sometime, Mr. Wright.
Pearl can't be stopped. She's a cutie. Little baby cutie.
Yes. Are you here to visit a patient? I'm Dr. Hody. Recently. Yes, that girl, you know. I haven't seen her around. Yes. But I remember, if I even laid so much as an eye on her, it would go crack.
Didn't matter if I got whipped, though. Yes.
Why they let that man wander around? It's time to begin our quest of world circus domination, sweetie. And to let the world know we are serious, I plan to make a fabulous trip to Zimbabwe.
Hey, Max, what do you think? Oh, wow. Do you think there are castles made of cake and bunnies who can talk?
I think if there are any talking bunnies, even they won't laugh at Moe's jokes.
That's the joke. That's why his name's Hoti. I'm ready! I'm ready! There's no way these jokes are gonna fall on deaf ears. I'm gonna be more contemporary with my humor. Mo Curls represent!
We've got our new act all worked out. Prepare for the Hallelujah Course.
Say something, will ya? You're supposed to start things off. Get on with it.
SpongeBob!
Yes.
Slightly less funny. What's this? Drat, it's just an ordinary electric razor. I can't believe this, really. How long do they plan on making me do this? But it's Edgipoo's idea, so that means it must have a deep hidden meaning. But why do I get the feeling they wouldn't forget about me, would they? It was never like this in the old days. Everyone thought the world of me. They used to call me Queen Wendy and treat me like royalty, and I got a lot to say about it. Oh, playing with fire's very dangerous because of that, but I got a lot to say. Too fast for the reader to read, really. Check the wiki for more details.
These attorneys sure were ace. Canned laugh. Yeah. I appreciate everything you and Mr. Edgeworth did for me. Oh, that's right. I received a letter from Ms. Von Karma. She said that after I get out, I should feel free to consult her about anything at all. I'm really thankful to have met everyone. You know what? Me too. Though I'm glad you're in prison, ma'am. You did try to frame a man for murder. He did do it. Don't get me wrong.
It has become difficult for me in this country as of late. As such, I will take a short leave of absence. If you would like to request my services, please be sure to visit my homepage. May we both be blessed with longevity.
Wow! That radio's toast. I'm glad she got to keep her civilian clothes in a prison cell. It's true.
Oh, he'll be back. Don't you worry. He's got a guy to get. Man on guard. Going to jail did not save that man. Ooh, oh, we got more buttons to press. Where are you going, Francisca?
How did she know I was here?
With this.
That's...
I heard you were planting things on a certain person. Things like tracking devices in his coat, for example.
Humph. That's just like you. I only planted it there because he was always wearing it. This filthy drab coat of his. I don't know how it ended up in my luggage, but it's going in the trash, that I promise you.
Oh, that's right. Speaking of that man, he told me something very interesting.
When I ran off with the things from the killer's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things total, sir.
4 items. It seems he put the last one in his coat pocket. He put it in here.
Huh, it doesn't matter anymore. The case is already over.
What are you gonna do now?
That's none of your business.
Are you running away?
Shut up! You don't understand a thing. You can't possibly understand what it means to be a Manfred von Karma's daughter.
Francisca.
So many expectations from everyone around me. Expectations I must fulfill. I'm expected to win no matter what. And failure? Such a thing is not an option for me. My father was a genius. There's no doubt about that. But me, I am no genius. I've always known that. But I had to be one. I had to.
Not toast. That's burnt toast. Hi, Catoid. Oh, wait. You've already made a silly joke. I didn't even notice. I read it and didn't even read the username. It did not register. Fair, why am I on a conveyor belt and why is everything on a plane? Airplanes. Airport. Normal.
You may not be a genius like your father, but you are a prosecutor. You have been and always will be.
No, I'm not. Not anymore. I've even thrown my VIP away.
Speaking of that, Wright gave me this to hold on to. Right. You knew something like this would happen, didn't you? I'm gonna say this again. We prosecutors do not fight for personal honor or pride. I hope you'll think deeply about what you should be striking down with that whip.
You haven't changed a bit. You've always left me alone and walked ahead without me. Miles Edgeworth, I've always hated you. And then, finally, my chance to take my revenge on you arrived. If I could win against that man, if I could make Phoenix Wright bow down in defeat, then this girl you left behind would have risen higher than you. That was supposed to be my revenge.
Oh, that's what she's talking about. When we were like, you can't get revenge for your dad. No, she doesn't want revenge for her dad. She wants to get... Yeah, I see.
You know, I can't do it. I can't change who I am. I can't throw away everything I've been until today.
I believe you can. Just like how Adrian Andrews did.
Adrian Andrews?
You were going to use her during that trial, right? But you were dependent on your father by using his tactics, isn't that right?
Humph!
Today, you chased after me, after I had left you behind all these years. And that's why we're standing here now, side by side. But I have no intention of stopping. If you say you're going to quit your walk down the prosecutor's path, then this is where we part ways, Franziska von Karma.
Imagine Fiera just controlling Mr. Wright and chat on the sidelines.
That's just Delta Room! Oh no!
Yeah. I'm Franziska von Karma. Don't think I'm going to walk in your shadow forever.
This is the closest I've ever seen her to crying.
Our battle begins now, so you had better prepare yourself, Miles Edgeworth.
That's the closest you ever get to see her crying. You gotta remember, in this game, she is 18.
Phoenix Wright, someday. I'm sure we'll meet again in battle. Until then. This last piece of evidence that never made it to you. I'll take good care of this fourth piece. So I can give it to you when at last we meet again.
Ooh.
Maya did do a drawing.
I knew it was Maya's drawing. We did it.
And that was justice for all, y'all. Oh, I'm a little tangled. It's fine, Steph, I'm fine. Okay. Yeah, no, it was. You did good. Anyway, it is now closing time, and we hope you enjoyed your visit to the octopus enclosure. That means we are going on a little adventure. Where will we go? Do. I don't even know what today is anymore. Do.
Oh. I know where we'll go, since we were talking about it. It's Wednesday, my dudes! There we go. Alright, we're gonna go see Wolfie Luke playing Roblox. Dandy's World, in fact. Potentially even with people. Alright, that is it for tonight, everybody. I will see you all tomorrow. Thanks for playing along with me, everybody.